Rolling.
So, under the table, we might be sneaking out of the Capitol, but let me start at the beginning. Maddie and I were going for a totally non complicated, non friendship walk, but there were so many people outside. Some guy was screaming about murder, and there were damn Templars everywhere, and knights, and it was like an Inquisition. It looks terrible. It was definitely not cool. Just as me and Maddie were trying to get away, Drew comes up with this man who has the most gorgeous blue eyes. It was like looking into the sky if the sky was made out of steel and it wanted to steal your soul. His name was Tim or Jim or something like that, and he wanted to quote unquote talk with us. I guess the murderer was some bigwig in the city. Locking down the whole place is like their way of stopping the murderer, but the murder already happened, so not really our problem. Anyway, the guy asked all kinds of questions like, who are you? Where are your papers? Do you work in the red light district? He just kept reminding me also that I lost that competition. Anyway, low key, I think he was eyeing up Drew. I mean, he seemed really familiar with him. But, Drew knows how to keep all the boys' attention. Anyway, we told him about some gods, some people's homelands, and magic. It was like this dude didn't know anything. So after he left, Ingus and Angus were apparently packing up our cart, and they seemed like they were in a real hurry. It was already ready, loaded up, and they had a contract ready to go. Me and Ellie officially joined the Vanguard, which was pretty cool. I mean, I had to do a little bit of lying, but that's okay. Uh, then Drew led us to the shipyard, and they apparently know some crab wood guy. He likes to make funny noises, so I tried not to giggle because I guess that would be rude. Anyway, he tried to scam us to get on his ship, but we totally negotiated it down. Although this is not my favorite way to travel, our bird's kind of cute, but we're off to Sandholm, and we're aiming to complete our rule of three.
Hell yeah. Inspiration.
Heck yeah. I don't even have my character sheet pulled up.
Come on, people. Notes, character sheets, get everything ready. You never know. Anything else anybody wants to add to that? Good recap, John. Thank you. Okay. But yeah, you guys successfully managed to get yourselves out of the capital before the full-on lockdown happened. Needless to say, that would have been rather, it would have been rather interesting if you guys got locked down in the main capital while they're doing a murder investigation, because you guys could have been stuck there for an indeterminate amount of time, and that probably wouldn't have been near as fun. But either way, you guys successfully made your way out, and you guys are now floating down the river, well, technically north on the river, up to the dukedom of Marzenstein. Your first stop will be the township of Sandholm. This is basically the village portion on the furthest outskirts of the dukedom before you get into the dukedom proper. Same as when you got to the Den in Opus Day, the Roost over in Sylvaden. This will be your first stop. But yeah, banking on that, your guys' first night on the river, relatively uneventful. Just rather quiet. You do notice that there's a lot of vessels traveling south towards Triniborg, towards the capital. You're not noticing hardly anything traveling in the same direction as you know. Which, just you make a mental note of that, some of you. But thinking back on some of the conversations that you've had recently, particularly the interrogation, quote unquote, that you had with Agent Tim, he did say some things, and you guys, a couple of you, it resonates with you that you're quickly developing a reputation, and as he even mentioned, you guys are even considered respected in certain circles. It's actually everything that you guys have done, especially recently, especially what you guys managed to pull off at the party, huge reputation bumps, not only individually, but to the Vanguard itself as a whole. And honestly, it's bumped you guys up to a legit respected reputation among your peers, among the populace. You guys are, you're becoming recognized, which is interesting because you're fast approaching a professional reputation. Professional is one of the highest you can get. You can come back around and be like double professional, which actually raises your rank as a company from like a bronze to a silver to a gold. The higher you are, the more people will be willing to hire you, the more they're willing to pay to take on certain tasks. You can basically write your own ticket the higher reputations you are. And technically, you guys are still an unblooded group. You haven't even completed your rule of three. And several of you, though, with history and understanding of how the mercenary corps works and stuff like that, you know that reaching a professional reputation before becoming an official company, completing your rule of three, with the Trimark Defense Corps, it's not unheard of. There's several companies out there that have done it, but they had exceedingly, more resources, more men, more backing, more money, everything. So, while it's not unheard of, but it is exceedingly rare and impressive in any circle that works with mercs. And with that, with a respected reputation level, you guys have gone up, obviously in notoriety, but you've also got access to a new group ability. And we're going to call this All for One. Now I'm going to go ahead and post what it is here in the chat here in just a minute, but first I'm going to read the rules to you, what All for One does. All for One is basically a team-up attack between two players in combat. You guys get access to a coordinated combo attack that, if successful, can grant additional damage and other interesting results. This will utilize each player's bonus action for that round. Okay, you can basically use your bonus action to call team-up attack, okay, at the top of the round. This is going to push both of you who are teaming up to the bottom of the turn order. This essentially allows me to, have strategy. Now, if you both beat the target's armor class by 10 or more on your attack rolls, you both get to roll double damage. Okay? Meaning rolling your attack damage twice on the app. Spells and abilities can be used provided they do damage first and foremost, but they also must have an attack roll. So no like magic missile or anything. But spells like fireball, lightning bolt, anything that rolls an attack to hit. Absolutely. Some skills, spells, and even effects might combo for some fun and interesting effects, for good or ill. Okay? Have some fun with it. Both players participating, you guys can freely use your inspirations on each other in order to offer advantage on those attacks as need be. You can, use your abilities, use your spells, whatever is going to help you get to that 10 or more on the armor class. Okay? So say you're attacking an enemy that has an armor class of 10. You're both trying to hit 20. So even if you beat the 10, you're still going to hit. You're just going to do basic damage. But if you both beat it by 10 or more, you both get to roll double damage. The ability is limited to one character use per battle. So, like, say player 1 and 2 team up, it's successful, great. Player 3 and 4 team up, isn't successful. You don't get to team up player 1 and 3 in the next team up. Does that kind of make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Trying it tonight. Let's go. Pick up the dwarf.
Let's see what happens. All right, so real quick, I'm going to go ahead and post this to the chat. That way you guys have it. Okay. Posted it to the general chat. But as you all ponder over that and, kind of get used to you guys as the new understanding of teamwork and the way that you guys have come together and the camaraderie and the partnerships that some of you are developing, it's great. And throughout the night, the rest of you also, ponder over some of the items and stuff that you guys have in your inventory. You check over some unidentified magic items or things that you still have in your inventory that you may not be using, like Argus. You got that Far Realm shard. You got various projects that you're working on. Drew, you've got various spells and that giant bug mandible that you took. Ellie, you've got various spells you could be practicing. Your pan flute, any other special items you might have. Abby, Malin, anything with abilities or that giant insect mandible that she took. Maddie, you got that amulet that you found in Slevin's Manor when you escaped. You got that extra Hellfire weapon. Is there any paperwork that you still need to file and fill out with the Trimark Defense Corps? Quinn, spells, new armor, maybe that thermal cube you got with you is something you might want to be working on. Smalls, you still have Drum's shield and his battle axe. You got a robe of useful items from him. You still got those psychedelic mushrooms too. And you've also got that weird-ass rat cloak. You got a bunch of weird stuff that you took from Drum when he passed away. So be mindful of those and be thinking if there's anything you want to do, or if you're not using it, pass it off to somebody who might make use of it. But other than that, I'm going to turn it over to the group. Is there anything anybody wants to be doing, checking out, talking? What's going on this? It's like I said, your first evening's relatively uneventful. You got the night to yourselves. You guys can take a long rest, or is there anything you guys want to do?
So, we basically Ellie is pulling out the primer,
Mhm.
and 'cause she was thinking about what's happening downstairs or whatever on the deck below with the whole wagon and everything. So she's just wondering if there's anything in the magical primer about a magical wagon.
Oh, okay. Um, I would say roll me an Arcana check real quick. We're gonna play around with this,
All right.
and I think your book only gives you advantage on history and religion checks, right? It doesn't give you Arcana checks, so just a
No,
flat
just
Arcana.
yeah, it's religion or history.
Okay.
Yeah. So flat arcana,
Yep. Trying to beat a 15 right now.
19.
19. All right. On a 19, the primer itself, no, absolutely nothing. This thing is specifically about religions, both new and old. This book contains a lot of information that is part of the primary book itself, but it also things that have been written in the margins. There's little notes that have been shoved in there. There's a ton of information in here. And it could help you if you have questions regarding, history of the church, religion in general. But like I said, it doesn't not necessarily just about religion about the Trinity Church either. There's a lot of stuff written in here. Whatever the hell that priest was up to, it involved a hell of a lot more than just the religion that he supposedly followed and was inquisitioning for.
Right.
So,
So it has notes from like that Inquisition. So it would be
sure.
different things he found out. I'm just trying to specify.
Yeah, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the wagon. So, but
Okay.
on that 15 Arcana check, while you're kind of tinkering around, you go down and check out the wagon. And actually, I'm going to remind the group, Argus, last time when you were tinkering with the wagon, you revealed this multi-turn wheel lock puzzle inside of the wagon. The check that you found actually believes that if you were able to figure out how this lock goes into place, your wagon can actually go from a small wagon, which it is now, to a medium, or even a large wagon if you find the appropriate switches in the wheel lock and get them into position. So, as I explained, every travel tech check you can go ahead and try and pop one of the locks. There's multiple levels to this, there's multiple difficulties, and right now you have just discovered the lock, you haven't popped any of them. So, on the next travel check, you'll be able to take a stab at this. Ellie, on
Yes.
yours, you discover that along with the lock that Argus is tinkering with, you find a strange crank at the loft of the wagon on the interior. It's a crank with a drop cloth inside. It seems to affect the canopy of the wagon. But on your Arcana check, you reveal that the crank kind of operates like a music box. And turning it to a specific tune will drop a different canopy, offering the wagon potentially new magical properties. Given its musical nature, on a 19 Arcana check, you decipher that having proficiency in musical instruments and Arcana can give advantage on some of these checks, and that's going to operate the same exact way as Argus tinkering with the wagon itself. So every travel check, you guys can attempt to decipher one of the levels of this wagon and discover more of its abilities. So you got something special here. Angus and Ingus have kind of given you something that it works akin to what they have, and what you guys have kind of deciphered and put together on how their wagon works, yours could work in a very, very similar way. Just gonna have to figure it out.
Cool. But through the night, our big little bird's doing okay, right? Ellie just does a quick check.
He's well fed. I believe somebody already had like speak with animals and stuff on, and they were helping calm them down last session. Managed to get a really good roll to get him into the actual cargo hold of the ship. He's well fed. He's kind of chilling. Obviously doesn't like being locked up, but settled in.
Cool. So Ellie just makes a quick check and then goes back upstairs on the deck.
Okay. Anybody else?
Quinn is going to wander near the stern of the deck. I believe that's the front of a ship. I should know, but
Bow and
but
stern, yes. Stern would be the front. Bow is the back,
yeah,
I believe.
okay, perfect.
I believe.
She's gonna head to the front of the ship. Since it's nighttime, she's going to observe the stars. She knows somewhat that you can use the stars to figure out where you're going or where things are positioned.
Okay.
So what she's gonna do is she's going to cast Globe of Twilight,
Okay.
which creates a darkness field around me with stars that surround my enemies, yada yada yada. But she's going to try and imitate the stars in the night sky. So it's like a globe around her where she can see, almost like making a star map. She doesn't know exactly where it's going or where it's going to go, but she's trying to imitate what she sees in the sky in her stars.
So you're using the spell to try to create your own kind of like lingering star map.
Correct.
Something you can call upon again later. Is that your ultimate goal?
That is the ultimate goal.
Okay. Well, this is your initial check. You're just kind of getting started. Roll me an Arcana check, and it's going to be 5 for this time. As you get more in depth and you want to try and complete this map, it's going to get harder.
Well, I got a nat 20.
Oh shit! All right, let's go on a nat 20. No, this comes as natural to you as like you're not a cartographer. You're like maps really aren't your thing. You got a pretty keen sense when it comes to art, and you're pretty damn handy with magic, especially given your that thing you got going on. So on a nat 20 though, you're able to put together, the way that the night sky is right now. Not only that, you're able to kind of get an idea on like, I guess you could say like gravitational turn and where the stars might be positioned like a day from now, maybe even a week from now. It gives you an idea that yes, this star map is going to be some kind of constant that you're going to be referring back to, but you also realize that things might shift a little differently depending on where you are in the world. It's like you have that understanding. The one constant, of course, is always like the North Star, certain things in the sky. So I'd say you're able to put that together, and it's definitely going to give you advantage on the next stage that you're going to want to build this thing up. I'd say that on a nat 20, you definitely get through stages 5, Arcana check 5 and 10. So next long rest, if you want to try doing this again, it's going to be 15.
Sounds good. Sweet.
Cool. Hey, Drew, I know you wanted to try to do something earlier.
I'll step in for a moment if Drew's thinking.
Sure.
So, just as we're sitting there, Smalls is going to start going through his bag, pulling stuff out, trying to make sure everything's organized and ready for the trip, packed away appropriately. So he pulls out the boomerang shield. He's sitting there. He pulls out Hugh, which is the battle axe, and Mask of the Beast, and pulls out his totem breastplate, and he's just going through his stuff, trying to make sure he's got everything, and realizes that he still doesn't have that Hellfire dagger back that he had handed off to Maddie. So I'm gonna load everything back up in my bag so I'm not forgetting nothing, and go try and find Maddie.
Okay.
You found him.
Wait. Hey, think you still have that dagger that I loaned you. Can I get that back?
Yeah, I think Maddie's like juggling with it, playing with it in the quarterstaff that I have. Yeah, definitely. What? Do you mind if I ask why you want this small little dagger, though? Don't you have that giant axe over there?
I do, but Crowley mentioned that, I believe it was Crowley, that we got to use these to gain more soul coin. So figured it'd be good to have on me just in case.
Yeah, that's a good call. Do you mind if I make a suggestion, though?
What's up?
Well, I mean, I've been growing pretty fond of this dagger, and I'm not really good with too many different weapons, like the bigger ones and stuff. I actually have this sword as well. It's a Hellfire sword. Do you mind if maybe I give this to you instead? Should do this exact same thing.
I mean, if the end result is the same, we all know I'm not gonna part with my axe. It's more looking for something for a finishing blow in case I need it.
Yeah, this will actually do more. This should be able to cleave people in half with your strength too. I pull it out, and it's definitely like, I don't know, like a foot or two larger than the dagger, and I hand it over to Smalls.
I like the weight. I'll agree to this deal.
I look forward to seeing you getting some more soul coins with that bad boy.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to run into plenty more fights.
Yeah, we will. And now he starts laughing about it.
Other than that, you doing okay?
Yeah, if you can give me a hand, help me get up real quick. I put out my nub.
Smalls is going to reach down and just grab a ghost hand for a second. Oh, my bad. And then grab his nubbin and lift him up.
When we get to Marsenstein, I know that you said you were there before, being the land of the soldiers and a whole bunch of like engineers. I'm gonna see if I can find a prosthetic while we're over there.
I think I might have just the person to help you out.
Really? All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. I give him knuckles with like my nub again.
Smalls just smirks, laughs, and gives him knuckles on the nubbin.
Ow.
You ready for this cold? I need to make sure you're all prepared.
Yeah, I think that we made sure to get a whole bunch of extra pelts and everything that comes with it as well. So, gonna try our best at least.
Well, it gets frigid out there, so make sure you're ready for that.
I
Smalls
appreciate it.
got him kind of not sure what else to say. Just to awkwardly stand there, like, yeah, okay.
I'll bring out some alcohol then and hand it to him.
And just kind of smiles. I'll share a drink with you, sir. Thank you.
I'll pour some in my dragon horn and drink with you.
So,
All right.
real quick, above the table, you're pouring drink into your dragon horn, Maddie?
Yeah, I think I already used it for the other stuff beforehand, so I'm just gonna pour into it and drink out of it.
Roll me a quick perception check.
Perception. 16.
On a 16, you notice that whatever drink that you and Smalls are sharing that you pour into your horn, the horn kind of absorbs it. And in fact, the drink that you had in there previously becomes whatever you poured into it.
Huh. I definitely drink it to make sure that I'm just not seeing things if it's nothing weird.
Smalls is gonna notice Maddie like looking at his cup. What's up?
Take a look. I pour some more alcohol into it and show it to him. Have him take a drink.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know this could do that. It's good to know for this when we start running out.
How did that? Yeah, that. Oh, that's okay. Neat little horn you got there.
Yeah, the elf twins gave it to me a long time ago. Never gonna part with this bad boy.
What was in there that this? Because this is definitely not the same thing you poured me.
It was definitely just a swill.
Neat.
All right, we're just gonna keep on drinking then.
There you go.
And it occurs to you, Maddie, that if it absorbs the alcohol and takes on the properties of that, then maybe whatever else you're able to use that horn for, maybe if you pour something else in there. Never know. On a 16, you'll figure it out.
Let's try it out. Yep.
Who else?
So I do want to talk to Argus about the mandible that I took, but I have a question for Smalls first, if that's okay.
Smalls is just over here drinking.
Yeah.
You got attention.
Yeah, hey, before you fellas get too far into that, Smalls, I have a question for you. You're from the area that we're going to, right?
I am.
Yeah, I was talking with my old captain. Um, I'm supposed to be looking for a king, and he said something about the Kingfall graveyard. You know anything about that?
Kingfall. Kingfall.
Possibly King's Fall.
Do you mean God's Fall?
Maybe.
There's a God's Fall graveyard that I recall. I don't recall a King's Fall.
I don't know. I don't think I'm looking for a god, but sure, tell me about that.
Um, yeah, so it's basically it's basically like a literal giant graveyard with
Okay.
fable. It's a fabled giant's graveyard in the northern tundra of Marsenstein. Like that's where all the great beasts of Marsenstein would go. Dragons back in the day, and great beasts now, dragonflies, I believe, would go out there. Um, but that's where they'd go at the end of their lives to die. Um, yeah, I remember seeing it once. It's just a massive land just littered with giant skeletons and massive bones picked clean, generally frozen over because it's cold. Um, I remember it's really hard to get to, so I'm not sure why you're looking for it. You can't get there by river. Everything's frozen over. You can only get there on foot, and you've got to get through some pretty nasty mountain ranges to be able to get there. Um, I suppose you could probably fly. I mean, I don't know anybody that's flown into it, but I don't think that there'd be anything that'd stop you flying there. Um, yeah. Let's see. You know what? There's one other thing that I recall. The legend always said that the legend around it always said that it drew death to it. I remember stories about um, telling about a great lost city and countless tombs that littered the valley. No one has proof of it that I recall. You know, and I believe I know that it was patrolled by the Mars and protected by the Marstein military. So again, I remember seeing it once or twice, having been out in that area, but I don't remember seeing any of the tombs. Um, yeah. Does that sound like what you're looking for?
Smalls, I'm going to be so honest. I have no fucking idea. But thank you. That sounds extremely interesting. Do you know anything like in particular about the Lost City?
No, like I said, nobody's ever actually like seen it. But again, you have to understand how massive this area is. It just spans for acres upon acres.
So if I'm possibly looking for one dead guy,
Well, you heard this? Have you ever heard the expression "finding a needle in a haystack"?
yes, I have.
Yeah. Now multiply the haystack by about 10.
So 10 haystacks.
Uh huh. One needle.
Great. That's excellent.
I, I mean, it's not undoable, but I'd be prepared for. Make sure you're prepared to put the work in.
Yeah, I didn't think any of this was going to be easy. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah. If you need help, like I said, I've been out there on patrols and keeping that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's treacherous getting out there. Like I said, and you got to watch out for the Marsdenstein military because they were patrolling. I mean, they used to patrol it. I can't imagine they would have stopped. So, never did know if we were trying to keep people out or keep other things in, though. That was always a question I had. Small's going to think for a moment and then just go back to drinking.
Okay, bye. Then I'll go find Argus.
Oh. Yeah, I'd probably be just chilling, checking the food rations, so I'd be easily found by the wagon. But yes, true.
Okay, hey, so I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but here's the bug mandible, and then I'm gonna pull out my journal and show him a sketch that I made of what I remember the weapon looking like.
Above the table, how close to accurate is the sketch?
Incredibly, it's actually quite detailed.
Is there anything in said sketch that I could use as a size reference to scale it properly?
The bug mandible itself, in fact, it looks to be some kind of like twisted base of like a quarterstaff length that you would attach two massive blades to at the end. It almost looks like a double hooked sickle.
Mm-hmm.
You'd say it's about the length of a halberd.
Ah, yes, the natural progression of every weapon to make it better, put it on the end of a stick.
Exactly.
Yes.
I was 100% already thinking this in my head. So, theoretically, it'll be closer to like a bardic, probably, because of the length of the mandible.
Sure.
I have a question. Based on my own sketch and memory, does it look like we could make it with just one, or would I need two mandibles?
Looks like you could make it with just one.
Okay.
It would just be a shortened variant. It'd be more of like a spear versus a full-on pole arm, because you don't have the second end. You're missing about
I
a quarter of
still have my quarterstaff.
I should have forging tools. I need to double check that actually.
I believe you specifically bought some back in Marsenstein or back in Trinaborg, like several sessions ago.
I know I specifically bought armorer tools.
I thought you bought.
I know
I thought you
it
bought
is
forging
Smith
tools
tools.
as well.
It is Smith tools specifically here.
Yeah.
My brain makes it with Tinker's tools, which I have. So yes,
So-
I should be able to. I have the proper things. I wanted to make sure I had the stuff before I committed, and then realized don't have things.
Argus, as you're looking over the plans and stuff like that, you like specifically your eyes are drawn to the blades that get attached to this thing. It's like you're looking around and like looking at the designs, and it all of a sudden dawns on you that Drew is carrying two swords.
I could attach the They are scimitars, right?
Yes, they are.
Similar shape, I assume, to the mandible. Ironically, this routes back to what I wanted to talk to you about, Drew. Is I wanted to look at your weapons to see if we can make them into your standard instead. But you had a sketch that I forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, since you used a scimitar and a mandible has a blade very similar to a scimitar in blade shape,
Mm-hmm.
just need to fit you a handle that would make it comfortable for your grip. But if you're more biased to this sketch you have, we can do that instead.
I mean, I don't. Weaponry is not my area of expertise. And I got. Did I tell you about what happened during the fight?
I don't think you told Argus.
Okay. So Argus, I'm not sure exactly what you know about my whole situation, but I ain't got any memories from before I woke up in the woods years ago. This eyeball, this blue one, this belonged to my sister. Um, and when we were fighting that bug and it killed me, I had a flashback of her memories, and she had a weapon like this. I'm gonna point to my journal.
So do you
So I just,
we can craft you this weapon. And always uncraft it if you want it into something else later.
yeah, and this sword, I'm gonna take out the black one. The ghost of my sister stabbed me with this.
Hmm. Could I do an investigation on it to see what the material of the metal is?
Absolutely.
Well, that's a 12. That's
On a
rough.
12, it's some kind of iron,
It's a nice piece of iron.
which you as an armorer specifically know, which is kind of odd for a scimitar.
Soft
a very
metals
delicate-
are just weird for a for a blade because they bend easily. Hmm. Odd choice. Oh, brain.
Guys, gonna take a stab at this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So you have the base, which is the mandible. You're going to use the quarterstaff as kind of a fuel, and then you're going to use the two blades to try to attach and weld this thing together, basically. Correct?
Yes.
I believe
Okay.
that is the math.
Been a while since we tried to go after forging items, but we do have rules for this. So basically what this is Argus, you're going to roll a d20 and you're going to add your proficiency or expertise with the tool that you're using. So this time it'll be smith tools. I believe right now you just have proficiency with it, right? So +3?
I believe it is just proficiency because it's not armor.
Okay. So with this, advantage can be given if 2 additional PCs assist with the appropriate tools. So if anybody else in the group, Argus, like you remember when Morb was doing this a little while back and you worked with Morb building some stuff and fashioning, you know that the less hands make light work, but they need the appropriate skill with the appropriate tool. You can add smith tools, tinkerer's tools, even thieves tools, like certain things. If you can justify what kind of tool you're using to build this thing, it can lower the DC or even give you advantage on the roll. So, do you want to seek out anybody else in the group to try to help you out with this?
I'm trying to remember if I've seen anyone do woodworking, and I don't think I have.
You'd always ask the group. Anybody have woodworker's tools? Skill?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually start. I'm gonna start with Maddie because I assume it is older time.
Woodworking? No, never done anything like that before. I can definitely slice up some wood with this this dagger if you want me to give it a try, but nothing professional.
Uh, how about you, Smalls? You know anything about woodworking over there?
I know how to chop down wood. Does that help?
In this situation, no. But if we need a lot of wood for a fire, I know who to ask.
That I can do. Sorry, not
No,
a
you're
whittler.
fine.
I
You're
know I
good.
have small hands, but not a whittler.
I'm now gonna go up top deck because I assume that's where everyone else is.
Yep.
Yes, that's where Quinn and Ellie are.
Yeah. Doesn't Ellie do some sort of crafting
That's
of
what
some
I
kind?
was. Yep.
I don't remember what she does.
Same, Drew. We'll go find out together. Ellie!
Ellie! Ellie!
Cherry.
Sherry!
Oh,
There
I
we
was
go.
talking this whole time. Over here. Ellie's just sitting by the side of the ship looking through her pack.
I assume Drew will follow and we'll walk up to her, yeah?
Yeah.
Ellie, do you happen to know anything about woodworking?
Not specifically woodworking, but I can weave. I don't know if that would help you.
I'm gonna
Would
It's
it?
like,
look back at this drawing or sketch that Drew has real quick and try to see if there's
huh?
like any bindings of where they were fastened that would have been by like a cording or something that you could weave together.
Yeah, these are, I mean, I have special tools. Um, let's see.
Because if I can't notch and woodwork it together, then we'll have to bind it in a secondary way.
Using the tools in your craft. I
Ellie,
have,
real quick, roll me
yeah,
a just roll me a flat d20.
okay.
And Argus, like since you guys are both doing this, I'm going to give you advantage on it. You're just trying to beat a 10. It's a luck check, so you want an 11 or higher.
I got an 8.
You have an advantage. Roll twice.
I
Oh,
rolled a
cool.
13 on the first one. I don't care what the other ones are. Dressidecophobia.
Nice.
What? That one was a 6.
Okay. On Argus's 13, Argus, you realize that on the mandible, there's still like sinew and connections and like there's insidey parts to this bug that could be considered connections for a weaver. I'll allow it.
Threading that can be kind of split and wrapped around.
Mhm.
Yep, I can do that.
Cool. All
So what are we
right.
making? What are we
Show her
making?
I'll show her my sketch. I saw this weapon in a vision.
Uh-huh.
So we're making this. The swords aren't really my style.
Oh, so it has to be attached with, what is that? Yeah. I think that I could help you with the attachment and make it really strong.
That'd be great.
Yeah, just yeah. Yeah, I think I'm I'm I think we can do this. Or I can help you. I mean, yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
whatever you need to help
teamwork.
attach it. Yeah. Sure. And make a nice grip for you. And I can weave that. What are you gonna attach it to? I guess I should ask.
Let's see. We're using my quarterstaff, the mandible, and then my 2 swords. I
Oh,
don't. You're gonna have to ask Argus for the more technicals.
okay. Yeah.
So you are wanting a dual bladed staff, yes? That is the route this is going.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, we're going to theoretically de-hilt your swords by removing their handles. And then by splicing the ends of your quarterstaff and wrapping a strong braid around, securing them on the ends, thus creating your dual-bladed staff. The most important part about this is making sure those bindings are strong enough to take an impact.
Right. Right. To take the blow or give the blow.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So basically, here's what's going to happen. You're going to roll. What you're trying to do right now is beat a 20 on a roll. You're adding your proficiency, which is a +3. You have Ellie assisting, which gives you another +1. Ellie, I'm going to need you to roll an Arcana check for this to assist. You're going to need to beat a 15. Now, you can burn a 3rd level spell to roll that 15 over and over until you run out of spell slots for this current weapon level. So, roll me Arcana. You have 3 chances at this.
All right. That's a 9. That's a 23.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful.
As a rune crafter and weaver, and you're working in tandem with Argus, you're able to pass a second check. You're kind of fitting these weapons together, and there's a certain degree of magic, like arcanery, that goes into this to bring these two things together. It's like this is an odd combination, especially with with what you're working with right now. But with that, I'm going to add another +1 to that. So right now you have a +5 Argus to this. Okay. Now, above the table, I'm going to remind everybody, it's like nobody's limited to helping here if you can justify a way to help. Like, I'll give you a free one on this one because we're trying to, like, crafting rules are going to play pretty big into certain things. Not big, but it's a really good option later on down the road if you want to turn certain items into other ones. Like, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff we can do with this system if you have the appropriate tools and if you can make the checks. So, like, Maddie, you have, silvery barbs, right?
I do.
So technically, by rights, you could use silvery barbs to help him re-roll one of these crafts if he doesn't make it. It's like,
I also had another thought process.
Mhm.
You said this is arcanic, correct?
absolutely.
Quinn, would you mind help blessing this process so it goes well, since Drew helps protect you? I think your goddess might find some privy in it. Because
Oh, I
iron
totally.
is a very good conductor of blessings.
Hold on. Do I have a spell for that?
Uh, it was
Well,
a good question, though.
I do.
Well, I probably have notes about this somewhere. She's going to pull out a book that, who knows where she keeps it, but it's a pretty sizable book.
Does it
She's
just
gonna
come out
flip through
from
pages.
between the thunder tits? Just like there's just like a portal there, just
Sure, that's canonically where my book comes from. But she's gonna pull out her book. She's gonna flip through a couple of pages. I'm gonna cast guidance.
Nice.
I know there's something in this book somewhere that's probably helpful. I write down a lot of notes about a lot of things. That's how I cast guidance.
an additional D4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Get over here.
Hell yeah.
Quit going down in the jar, you stupid D4. It's like I don't want it.
It's running away.
That's a 3 on the D4.
Okay. So you have a +3 to this on top of the.
That's an 8 total, I believe.
Yeah, you have a +8 to this. You're trying to beat a 20. So, and like I said, Maddie has an opportunity to help you re-roll, but you will lose the guidance on the second re-roll. Technically. Unless somebody else has unless somebody else can also use the spell, which I think, Drew, you said you could.
I can. Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a stab at this. Try to beat a 20. Got a +8 right now.
26.
Holy shit.
I rolled an 18 on the die.
Beautiful. Hell yes. It surprisingly doesn't take you that long. A couple of hours whittling away at this thing, trying to find the right groove points. You're able to dehilt the swords relatively easily by taking out the locking pins. Surprisingly, the wrought iron scimitar is crudely made. There's not a whole lot to this thing, so you kind of have to almost like shave off the handle in of itself. But you make it work, especially on that roll. These things fit together. Go ahead.
I'm also going to heat treat it by using Green Flame Blade through my gauntlets, since they count as weapons.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Because
That could have
Green
been-
Flame Blade is at will. That's just
Fuck
part
yeah.
of the curing process to make sure everything binds well.
Okay. Keep that in mind for the future. Like creative shit like that I love. I would have given you another +1 to the roll for using that. Since you yourself are not already using a spell.
I didn't realize it until after the fact.
No, keep it in mind for the future. Like I said, plenty more opportunities like this. But the actual mandibles of the bug, even with the tempering and the heating process, this insect mandible doesn't burn in the traditional sense. In fact, it almost like welcomes the flame. As you wick these blades and wedge them into like making this double-bladed this scythe up at the top, it accepts the blades willingly into that meaty section of the knuckle there as it was cut off, and Ellie, you're able to take those the sinews and the muscle connections and weave them and tie them together off of the top. And as you're heat treating it, Wales, it almost becomes hard as steel the way this thing is wedged together. Surprisingly, like the insect glaive itself, the insect like the bend to the mandible has like a lot of give and throw to it, especially with the weight of the blades at the end. It's a very odd and unwieldy weapon, but it's incredibly durable for what it's made out of. Surprisingly, as shocked as you are with the whole process, as you hand it over to Drew. And Drew, as you take it in your hands, you can go ahead and add Burial Blade to your inventory.
Okay. Hey, what's it smell like when he heats it up with his weird fire?
What do you think it smells like?
It
I don't
smells
know.
like burning bugs.
Barbecue. Home, probably.
Not necessarily home. I mean, it definitely smells like a bit of a... it has a very sweet smell to it. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Does my eyeball seem mad about it?
I don't know, it's your eyeball.
What am I adding to my inventory?
I'll add it for you because we need to take a bunch of other stuff out of it. So
Yeah.
So I will add it. But you're getting something called the Burial Blade. All right. Any conversations? Anything? What do you think?
Thinking about it, I'm actually gonna dig into my bag for that Far Realm shard.
Okay.
And I'm actually gonna hand it to Quinn.
Oh.
Thank you for helping me.
Thank you. Sorry, I got something caught in my throat. Thank you. I totally like whatever
Smells good.
this is. You said it's a Far Realm shard?
It is the Far Realm shard. It is a wondrous blue tier.
Okay.
Both of you roll me a quick perception real quick.
That is
13.
a 10.
10?
I'm not very perceptive. I have a 1.
You are technically blind, so.
Yeah.
What'd you get, Quinn?
13.
13? On a 13, nothing really sticks out about the shard, except it's very pretty. And also, it's the same color hue as a shield that you've seen before, that you've seen Smalls carrying. Just putting that out there. Okay.
Oh, this. Okay, you said the same color as the shield Small's carrying? Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. Good. Be like, oh, this is totally cool, and she's just gonna like fiddle with it and try and understand it.
Anybody else?
I will. Oh, I was gonna say I'll save the investigation of it till next.
Okay.
Next day.
Anyone else? All right. With that, go ahead and end the first day. You all go over, various things, conversations, various things that are happening. And the first day, go ahead and take a long rest, all of you that haven't done so already.
So, Ellie only has to trance, so she wants to pull out the pan flute and try and see if she can get some proficiency in it, especially now that she knows about the music box.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me a d20.
Right. Oop. It's only a 10.
All right. You're looking for an 11 or higher on those. So that is a failure.
Yeah. Okay. So
All right.
Ellie sits there making crappy music. She puts it away, puts out the primer, starts reading it.
All right. And with that, I need somebody to roll me just a flat d20. We're going to move into the second day of the 3 days on the river headed to Sandholm.
Oh, you rolled it. 8.
8. Second. All right. With an 8.
He's been waiting.
He's just like, I got this.
Like,
All
he seems so
right. Just
excited.
real quick, where's everybody at in the ship, I'd say, into the second day? Who'd we lose?
It would be a Lindsay.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. All right, so, yeah. Well,
Oh, sorry.
he's
I
dead.
know.
Fine.
I know.
All right. Where's everybody at in position to the ship? Are you guys down in the cargo hold, up on the second deck, third deck, captain's cabin? Near the captain's cabin, first deck? Where are you guys at?
In the morning, I'd start by feeding the bird.
Yeah, down below.
Since I was playing at the deckhands, I'll be on top up there. I'll be up there doing it.
Smalls would have been up there too.
Yeah, same with Drew.
Drew's up top
I'll be down below.
with the bird. Okay, Argus. And Ellie, where are you at?
On deck, just looking at the ocean and
No oceans.
looking at the river and watching the water. Yeah.
Cool. Malin, where are you at?
Close to land?
Yeah, you guys are basically the way that water travel. Real quick, the way that water travel works here, I'll remind you guys, is like there are massive rivers that span all across this country, and they fork out, and they travel all throughout this entire realm that you guys are in. It's like river travel is a big mode of transportation here. Hence is why you guys see the river boats all the time. The actual ocean is located far, far to the north on the northern shores of Marsenstein and Opus Dei. More about all that later. Nobody's really delved into the history of the ocean, but no, everything is done here is river travel. So,
Got it.
Malin, where are you at?
I think I'd stay down.
Okay.
Inside, just in case we pass by any whatchamacallums, any officials.
Gotcha. Okay. Hanging out down with Argus and Quinn then.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All right.
I'd probably see if there's anything that I can do to help Argus.
Anything going on this morning or throughout the day? Anything, other conversations or any kind of projects anybody's working on? Like I said, morning comes and goes relatively, no problem. Captain Albert Alexander is still at the helm 24/7. Guy's an automaton. Doesn't eat, doesn't sleep. He's just sailing away. So.
I do actually want to ask Maddie for some tips.
Yeah, do we need to go be alone for that?
Not that kind of tip.
I'm sorry.
I mean, fighting tips. I feel like with the weapons that I have now, and I'm gonna kind of wiggle my arms, I'm a little bit more of a close-handed fighter, I guess. And you're very good with your hands, so I figured getting some tips from you would be best.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Let's see what you got. And Maddie's gonna spar with Malin, but definitely very boyfriend-like, so to speak.
Are you guys down below or up on deck?
Down below, I think.
Okay.
I need you to not take it easy on me.
Well, let's see if you can get it out of me then. And I playfully, kind of shove at her again.
I'm gonna be rolling my eyes. I just want. I just want to actually train with my arms, swords, things. I don't know if there's anything that you want me to roll for that or not.
Yeah, attack him.
Okay.
Sparring is the best way to train, and it's
Like you
probably
guys
the oldest way.
So you guys training? You're fucking around. What are we doing?
Maddie was fucking around, but that is not what's about to happen.
I got a nat 20.
Oh god!
Just remember
Well,
to be careful in training.
I'm gonna use silvery bard so you don't critical me. I'm gonna waste it so that I don't take like 20 or 50 damage on that.
So it's a 27 total.
Even with
He's
the
gonna be
reroll,
like-
it's still 27.
Oh,
He
I have to
silvery
reroll
barbs.
it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
silvery barbs you.
I'm gonna.
Let me see.
I don't want to take 50 damage. So I'm gonna.
21.
That's still a hit, but I'm not dead.
That's so funny. So it's 11 damage.
All right. Yeah, Maddie is definitely like taken off guard because he had to just like use magic to not die there. So he gets a little bit aggressive back at Malin for sure, and will attack.
Bring it. Malin, just for a quick note, go ahead and still mark down. That's your second nat 20 training with these. Still counts.
Gotcha.
Fuck
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
in a good way, I hope. I'm just using unarmed strikes just in case. So first one's at advantage because of silvery bards. Ah, fuck! I got a nat 20 also.
Okay.
But I'm only punching, so it shouldn't be
You're
as
still a
much.
monk.
Yeah, 24. Let's stop.
Quinn's
How
gonna.
much
Quinn was
damage?
getting-
24 because I got a critical.
24 damage.
Yeah, I definitely maybe punched you in the face. I don't know.
I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, that's. Oh,
I'm so sorry. Maddie like runs over and like becomes passive.
okay. That
Quinn
is
was Quinn was walking by because she was gonna go up the see his pulse, and she only saw Maddie's attack. Like, what in the absolute fuck, man? Gonna run over to Malin. I'm gonna cast Healing Ward.
Oh no! That's not what it looks like.
that was a good hit. Oh, goodness, trading sessions. Hi, Quinn.
Heal for 5 points.
It's okay. This was intentional.
What? He hits you, girl.
I hit him
Girl.
first.
Maddie is like beyond embarrassed now, and he quite literally will just turn around and leave.
Where did this take place again?
It was downstairs. Where
Downstairs.
Where most
Why
of
are
us
you
are.
beating each other up?
I need
I'm gonna be
training.
petting Quark, making sure Quark isn't scared.
I'm gonna be like, I just wanted a little bit of advice on how to fight with these things. They're a little new to me. Okay? It's okay.
Nobody hits you in the face is advice, sweetie.
That's just part of training. It's okay.
If you're totally sure, but girl, we need like a code word for us ladies. We totally can't just be having these men hit us. Like there's shelters for this and shit.
Is there
I
though?
appreciate your concern.
As long as you're good, like I'm gonna
I am.
all right, I totally believe you. It just looked like a really vicious punch for training.
You should have seen it earlier. I almost gave him a pretty big gash and he freaked out about it.
Oh, okay, as long as you paid him back. All good.
Oh yeah, I got him first. So
Oh yeah.
it's okay.
All right, control your man. You got this. Quincy.
Real quick, up above deck. Who's all still up? Like, so we got Maddie, Malin, Argus, and Quinn are all down below deck, right? Everybody else is up above.
Yes.
I believe so.
So we got
Ellie is.
Ellie. Yeah, so we got Ellie, Drew, and Smalls up above.
Yes.
Like you guys are up above deck. Like I said, it's about midday or so at this point. You guys are passing several. A lot of vessels are still headed south. It's interesting enough. It's like you see merchant vessels, military vessels. Everything's still headed further south back towards Trinidad. Nobody's passing you guys going north. No one's behind you. Like there's no there's no traffic on your side. You guys seem to be the only ones headed north. But with that, like I said, you guys are passing a lot of vessels. But just off in the distance, though, coming south, it's been a couple of hours since the morning since anybody's really passed you guys. But one particular vessel almost catches your attention. Drew, this one especially catches your attention because you notice off in the distance is this gold and turquoise gilded vessel flying the banners of a mermaid of the mermaid or mercenary company approaching. It has lanterns and stuff like that already lit. It's but even though it's like the middle of the day, as you kind of glint and look forward, you see this friendly face, like bushy bearded man, seen like he's up in the crow's nest and he's just waving at you guys, as they're headed, they're headed south and you guys are headed north.
Do I recognize him? Hello?
No, I'm sorry. I think did it cut out? Roll me a history check real quick.
Okay. I'm so good at that.
Yeah.
That is a 19, natural 20 minus 1.
Natural 20 minus 1 on a nat 20 minus 1? No, you absolutely do not recognize this person.
Okay.
In fact, there's like I said, on a nat 20, you don't even recognize the vessel. It's not the Leviathan.
Oh.
It's incredibly close to the Leviathan in colors and the banners and its structure, but it is not. And on a nat 20, there's something kind of glimmers off of the ship itself, oddly. But there's the guy just in the tiny little crow's nest just waving at you guys, and it's getting closer. You guys are about, like I said, you're almost like tip to tip as it's headed south, and then you guys are headed north.
So the glimmer, is that not similar to the Leviathan since they're both gold?
It is completely different.
Would that be investigation, insight? To see if I can figure out what's going on?
I will allow insight or arcana. Either one will tell you something different.
I'm gonna do insight because I have better on that one.
Yeah,
this
will be instinct telling you something.
Cool. Well, that was a 9 because I rolled a 2.
The 9?
Yeah.
On a 9, something in your gut feels off, but nothing.
Wait. Hold on. Can I? I have that thing. I have a thing.
You have a thing?
I do. I have to read. I have knowledge from a past life.
Okay.
I can roll a d6 to add to the d20.
Okay. If you get a full 15, it'll tell you a lot more. So you need to roll a 6.
I rolled a 1.
It gets you to a 10. Something in your gut feels off. There is something off about the ship as it is growing closer and closer and closer.
Can I go to the captain?
He's up on the 3rd deck. Are you going to run up there?
Yes.
You saying anything to Ellie and Smalls as you pass by?
That ship's weird. Does it look weird to you guys?
As soon as you start mentioning something to that, as soon as you're almost side by side, the vessel immediately and hard turns straight into the Splinter Zombie's fingers as its forefront comes crashing into the side of your guys' vessel, grinding against the railing until both vessels are jammed up against each other as it's like the tip of it is slammed into the side of the vessel. All of a sudden, you hear this massive cracking and splintering of planks and the breaking of the railing, and suddenly a shimmer gleams over the mermaider vessel, and a massive illusion suddenly drops and reveals itself to be something completely, entirely different. This is a Vikander raiding ship. Dark wood, black iron rigging, black and white sails with these massive rusty and bladed hooks on the edge of the ship on the sides, and suddenly 2 of them come slamming down just barely inches away from you, and Smalls and Ellie are standing on the upper decks, and anchors the vessel into you guys. All of a sudden, like I said, the splinters will be like these weird fish hooks could just come sinking into the scaly flesh, locking you guys in place. All of a sudden, that friendly face from the crow's nest drops the illusion as well, and along with about more than a dozen or so raiders start popping up out and exposing themselves on the edge of the ship. And all of a sudden, you hear what sounds like a fuse being lit, and suddenly these smoke powder bombs come lobbing over the edge of the ship. And I need Ellie, Smalls, and Drew to make dexterity saving throws, but each of you gets to roll at advantage thanks to Drew's warning.
That's a 20.
20. You're trying to beat a 12. Everybody's trying to beat a 12. You have advantage.
Is there any chance I can have double advantage and roll a third time since I have advantage already?
There's no such thing as double advantage, but yeah,
Just want to get that third roll. You know,
yeah,
I got
fuck it. You're a barbarian. You
and,
can see it coming. Let's see what happens.
you know,
Since you really want it.
there we go. 15.
15. Ellie, what'd you get?
I can't silvery barbs myself, right?
Sure you can.
Okay.
You just have
And
to
I'm
take
gonna roll
you just have to take disadvantage on your next attack.
disadvantage. Well, I only got 11. I was gonna re-roll.
Okay. You can silvery barbs yourself. You can use the spell. Basically, yes. So you are implying you're giving yourself.
A roll.
Yeah, it's like technically you're not supposed to use it on yourself because, like, what's the wording of the spell? I think you have to use it on a target.
It's not on self. It's on someone who's
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna. You can't do it then.
Okay, so Ellie got 11.
11. All right, and that's with your advantage.
That's the
You rolled twice.
next one was the other one was like 4.
Okay. All right. And with that, you guys got 8d6 damage coming, so we're going to see what happens. Ellie, you take 35 points of fire damage, mix of fire and bludgeoning. Smalls, you take half of that. Drew, you also take half of that. So that rounds down to damage rounds down. So 35 is what? 16? 15. No, sorry.
17.
17.
I have 1 point.
As all of a sudden these Vikander raiders start lobbing these explosive bombs, and it just litters the entire side of the ship with explosives. 17 damage to Drew, 17 damage to Smalls, 35 full to Ellie. And I need everybody to keep calm and roll initiative.
Smalls is going to use Stone's Endurance to reduce that.
Cool.
Wait, I don't have my weapon in my inventory yet.
Yeah, it's equipped. I put it in there for you.
Okay, it is?
Yep. Burial Blade.
I don't see it.
Refresh.
Under your attacks and in your inventory. Yeah, just refresh your screen.
Yeah, okay.
And you can read up on what that bad boy does, along with the art.
Are those below deck also rolling initiative or negatory?
Oh, yeah, everybody.
Okay, I just wanted to verify.
Yep.
Smalls is 14 on initiative.
Cool.
I got a 12.
Let's go ahead and post it in the chat. We're going to go ahead and take our midway break a little early, about 15 minutes early. We're going to take 10 minutes. Everybody go use the restroom, grab your drinks, and we're going to come back into combat. So everybody post what your initiative rolls are. I will put them in order, and I will post a map of what you guys are looking at as well.
That'll be a 10-4.
Cool.
I'm sorry, Marshall. Did you say the time we're starting back up?
Is 7:18 right now, so let's come back at a cool 7:28, no later than 7:30.
Got it. Thank you.
I'll post these in the general chat for everybody.
I'm still not seeing my weapon in my inventory.
Did you refresh?
Yeah.
Close the app and then bring it back up.
I did that.
We'll do it again.
I'll come help you out on break. I gotta get another
Okay.
drink. Okay, there's a map and there is an illustration posted for everybody. Kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking at here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, see everybody in 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we got Devin.
Um,
Hey, Wales, what does it mean 14 plus 1? Do you have 14 or do you have 15?
I have 14, and usually
Oh,
you
got
then
you the
go
higher
by your
dex.
dexterity modifier because there's like 3 of us with.
Everybody
14.
rolled 14. Okay, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't rolled mine.
Come on!
I'm sorry.
Let's go!
I had to pee so bad.
That's what Allie just said too.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
came down
no.
here because I wanted to also say hi to you. I haven't seen you guys all day.
14.
I
so
haven't seen
Marshall,
Marshall in like about a year.
I know,
Um,
I miss him.
since this was an attack, um, do I have to wait for my turn to react, or
If you have your reaction, I'll let you go ahead and use it now. Why? What did you want to do?
because I can absorb elements?
Yes, you can.
So can I use that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we
All
got
right.
basically my dex is +2 for. Okay, yeah. So basically for this, we're gonna go Quinn. Yeah, Quinn, Malin, Smalls, Argus. Like I said, it doesn't really matter all that much because you guys are able to move your stuff around. Oh, I thought Malin already rolled. Who was I thinking? No.
Sorry, I put it in
So it's
chat
when you're
literally
Malin.
just before you said something.
Okay, so we got Quinn, Smalls.
I got a 21 for my initiative. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner. Where's my coffee cup at? Over there.
Like I said, it doesn't really matter because you guys are able to move around your initiative order if you want to team up or do stuff, so it's not that important, but. Billy. Rue, Maddie. Yeah. Okay.
That's the spell. Use a spell.
Malin, Quinn, Smalls. Basically, you can have the damage that was elemental because this was fire.
Yeah.
And then I believe you're able to use, put that back into a spell, I think, later.
All right, but I still have to take the damage.
You take half the damage, I believe. Read the spell.
Yeah, I was just reading it.
Smalls, Argus, Ellie,
Fire.
Rue.
But you take acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder, self, 1 round. Spell captures some of the incoming energy, lessening the effect on you and storing it. First time you hit, attack, the target takes an extra 1d6.
So yes, you should take half the damage that you did. So
Uh-huh.
you'll take the 17, same as everybody else. And then next time you attack, you can add a d6 of fire damage back to the enemy.
Got it. All right. All right. That was pretty creepy.
Oh, I guess I could post the art and stuff too. What coming at you?
So I'm using it at a 3rd level, so I have to cast it, right?
You don't have to use it at 3rd level, Ellie. I think it's a 1st level spell.
Well, I have 3 levels. I just wanted less damage.
I think it's going to give you half damage no matter what spell level you use it at.
Okay, so just cast absorb elements. Okay, so I cast that. So next time they hit, I hit. I just wanted to give them more damage at the next time.
Then you can cast it at 3rd level if that's your goal. Because I think again it becomes like 3d6 or something.
It does.
Cool. Then do that.
Okay, that's why I was like, I want to give them more damage.
Cool. That'll work.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Is everybody back? It is 7:30.
Yep.
I'm here.
All right. Everybody got the map? Kind of get an idea of where everything's at?
Are we the top or bottom ship, good sir?
You are the top ship. Splinters on me fingers, and then Vikander Raiders is below it.
That makes a lot of sense. That's what I thought due to the quantity of cannons sitting on the enemy ship. It made a lot of sense in comparison to ours.
Those are hooks, not cannons. Everything's labeled. All right. Is everybody ready to go? Let's kick this thing off.
Okay.
All right. With that, bombs, each bomb for half. So I got that one and that one. All right. With that, the Vikenders are going to start charging over the hooked area. The ship is like the Vikender vessel is actually starting to like turn itself, and they're trying to like get side by side, and it looks like they're trying to apply more hooks. So as each round we go in, there's going to be a potential for them getting more and more locks into this ship. But for right now, Group 1 and 2 are going to come charging over. Smalls, I'm assuming that you are positioning yourself at the forefront of this thing to try and clog the area that they're coming across.
Oh yeah, in a rage already. Like he's ready for a fight.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you rage beforehand. That's fine. So Group 1 and Group 2 are going to come over, and this is 6 guys coming at you at once. So for right now, what's your AC?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. All right, you got 6 attacks coming your way. Looks like only 3 are going to hit. Raging. That is 23 damage from all 6 of these guys coming at you. And you said you're raging, so that halves it to 11 rounded down.
Alrighty.
Okay, the other 2 groups are going to take some crossbow shots at Ellie and... Sorry, who was the other one that was up on deck? Ellie and Drew, right?
Yeah, Drew's up pretty high though.
You guys are both on the second and third level, so they have clear shots at you. What's your AC, Ellie?
16 with the bracers.
Hell yes, very nice. And Drew, what's yours?
16.
Okay, all right, easy enough for you to remember. And this is 6 shots from hand crossbows coming across. Looks like 4 of these are going to hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Split it between the 2 of you. All right. Split between the 2 of you, that is 15 points of damage to each of you.
So I have 2 runes.
Okay.
So that's gonna take down the damage, right?
If you want to use them.
I do.
Hey, Marshall, to confirm, you said that I got hit by 3 of them?
3 of the 6, yes.
Okay. I was worried about that.
Technically, it's just one. You would just be rolling for 2 attacks because they're coming in groups of 3.
So I'm just double checking here.
Yeah.
Because it says take damage from a new source 3 times in a single round.
Yeah, it's not a new source because they're coming in groups of 3. So it's 2 that you're doing right now.
Okay.
It's not. I'm not rolling 6 individual times. I'm rolling for each group.
Okay, so I only had 2 rolls that I had to do. All right, got it.
Cool. All right. Solid.
How do I use those?
You would You already had them activated in your app, so you're going to deactivate them, and then you're going to use the ability to lessen the damage, whatever that is.
Okay. Because I'm trying to look at it and I. Sigillic augmentation? No.
All right. While you figure
combat. Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
You figure that out. All right. That is all for the Raiders, and They don't have a clear line of sight on this one, so that is going to hold. All right, we're into your guys's. So Malin, you're up first. Quinn, you're on deck, and you guys can move around and do what you need to.
Okay, I still have to get up onto the correct deck.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
I have a total of 30 walking speed.
Okay, that'll get you up onto the first deck.
Okay.
Just outside of the cargo hold.
Do I see anybody like currently getting onto the ship?
You can see them up on the third deck, coming across where the hooks are, and like kind of a loading platform. And Smalls is holding back like a small army of these guys, well, 6 of them, all together by himself. And you can see Drew and Ellie up on the second deck, and then you have clear lines of sight on everybody on the ship across the way. You don't have clear lines of sight. They are behind partial cover.
Okay.
By the time you get up on the second deck, you'll have clear line of sight on them.
Okay. Would any of them be within 30 feet of me?
30 feet of you from right now. Group 3 would be, just barely.
Okay, can I use telekinetic shove to see if I can get somebody off?
Try to pull them off of the ship?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, they're going to get a +2 to the save.
Okay.
There's a like I said, they have partial cover, and there is a railing right there. So this is going to be a pretty. What does your ability do?
So I can try to telekinetically shove one creature I can see within 30 feet of me. They have to succeed a strength saving throw or be moved 5 feet.
Okay. What's the strength saving throw? I'm going to give them an addition to
DC
this.
13.
13? Okay. So they're going to need to beat an 11 on this one. Let's see here. I'm going to roll for one of these guys.
Okay.
16. With the +2.
Okay, so then nothing happens then.
Okay. Like I said, you get the impression that you would have a better shot if you had clear line of sight and you got up onto the second deck. So I would say you can kind of like pass that down to everybody that's coming up as well. It's like from the first deck, you are just straight shooting across the way on these things. And like I said, they have pretty good cover on their way right now. Cool.
That is considered a bonus action. But I don't have any attacks that I can do from my distance. So I think that's going to be it for now. Oh!
Want to dash or anything if you haven't used your action?
Hold on. I'm actually going to... Well, oh no, that's a bonus action too. Oh no, it's not. It's a regular action. The telekinetic movement.
Okay.
So I can move an actual person or object. I'm gonna move myself.
Okay.
I can move myself up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space.
Okay.
So I would like to move myself closer to Smalls to help him.
Okay. Another 30 feet from where you're at will get you just to the base of... Yeah, you'll be about 5-10 feet away from Smalls, but it'll get you basically on the stairwell leading up to the third deck.
Oh, cool. Okay. Would that be close enough to attack the group?
No. You'll be about 5-10 feet away from them.
What if I use my whip blade?
You'd have 10 feet. You might be able to get a couple
It does have a
slashes.
10 feet reach.
So telekinetic movement's your action, though, right?
Yes, but I get 2 actions.
You get 1 action to attacks.
1 action.
Unless you're
oh,
going to...
okay.
So you get 1 action and you're allowed to attack twice in that action. But if you're using your telekinetic movement, that counts as your full action.
What if I use action surge?
Then you absolutely can.
Okay, I will do that.
Does action surge give you your movement speed back? Or is it just the attack?
It just says an additional action.
Okay, so yeah, you just get an additional action then.
And I will use that action to attack with my whip blade.
Okay.
Because it does have a 10-foot reach. Yikes, that's a 14.
14 hits actually.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Not a lot of
and
armor on these guys. They're very piratey.
Okay. Cool. That is 10 damage.
Nice. Solid hit.
And then I will use a psionic die to add psionic strike to that.
Bring it.
So that'd be 1d8. No, that's a d10. Oopie. Hold on. That is 8 plus 2, I think. Yeah, plus 2. So another 10 damage.
Another 10.
And that one is force damage.
That is 10, so you're down to 50. Beautiful. Yeah, force damage doesn't matter. You're just ripping and tearing through these guys. One of these pirates in this first group is looking real fucked up. Still standing, though.
Okay. That is going to be it, because I used my bonus action. And, okay, yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Mounds up. Quinn is up. Small's on deck.
Sounds good. With all the shaking, Quinn is going to rush up right behind Malin.
Okay.
And for clarification, we can only see groups 1 and 2, correct?
Technically, you can see all 4 groups of them. Just the groups 1 and 2 are up on the upper decks fighting Smalls, trying to get across onto the ship. Groups 3 and 4 are shooting crossbow bolts from the ship across the way, but they're kind of behind the solid railing, so a little partial cover.
Okay. Quinn's gonna shout down back behind her, guys, you totally need to get up here. But until then, I'm going to use meta magic and use my special skill as Quinn to cast 2 moonbeams. I'm hitting for the both groups of crossbowers.
Okay, groups 3 and 4.
Groups 3 and 4.
Bring it.
They have to make a con 15 save.
On 15. Okay. Checking their con. Great. Only plus 2? No, plus 1. Oof. Okay. I'll roll this in the app. They rolled a. That is unfortunate. Wait, you said 15?
15, yeah.
No, sorry, I did math wrong. 14. They only have a plus 1, not a plus 2.
Okay. Before I roll damage for that, actually, I'll roll damage for that too. Hold up, I gotta roll it in the right spell slot. There we go.
My correct dice here.
Yeah. 9 damage, radiant.
Both groups?
Oh, it's group 1. Group 2, 4 damage radiant.
Okay.
Yeah, get that bad dice roll out of here, man. Woo.
Hey, hit's a hit. Okay.
And then because I was given the shard, is there anything within 30 feet of me? I don't think so, right? Because I'm just coming up.
Did you? Okay, so you guys haven't really done a lot of investigation with the shard. You guys do know what it is. So yeah,
Okay.
Are you able to attune to that?
Oh, actually, it says attune by source. I have meta magic, but it says attune by sorcerer, so no, I don't think I can.
Well, I mean, technically, given your background, you have meta magic. I'll allow it. Fuck it.
Yeah, that
Sweet.
was
Is
an
there anything
oversight I also had when giving it to him.
Honestly,
Sweet.
there's more to the background. Fuck it. We'll allow it. It has meta magic anyways, so we'll allow
Heck yeah. Is there anything within 30 feet of me? I don't think there
it.
is,
Yeah,
though.
group 3 is.
Group 3? All right. Then a slimy tentacle is going to rip through the fabric of reality and strike one creature. They must succeed at a charisma saving throw, 15. Or
Charisma?
Yeah.
Oof. They do not have good charisma. I think they have a -1 to this. Let me check their stat. Yes, -1. 12.
12. All right. They are going to take 8 damage.
Beautiful. All right. One of the Vkenders in this group is looking real fucked up too. So nicely done.
All right, that's my turn.
I was like, what does it look like? Honestly, what does it look like, and what does it feel like when you summon this tentacle? I mean, this is kind of outside of your normal purview here. This isn't something that traditionally you feel like you can feel it in yourself. This isn't something that you feel like you should be able to do. But you're tapping into something innate inside of this fucked up magical artifact that the group found after a really fucked up fight with a bunch of cultists. What does that feel like?
Good question. Okay, so for the slimy tentacle, it's going to like starting at my focus, which is my amulet. There's going to be like I guess like a dripping from the bottom of it, and then it's just gonna rip from the bottom of it and go attack the nearest creature. It's a large tentacle, but instead of suckers, it's gonna have like little flowers. Because Quinn likes cute stuff.
All right, I dig it. Roll me a charisma saving throw, just for fun.
All right, let's do this. Saving throw.
Technically, this would be wisdom. Sorry, wisdom saving.
Oh, wisdom. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my inspiration on that. All right, first roll is better. 14.
14? Okay. Just making a note of it.
Okay.
All right. Anything else out of Quinn?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Smalls, you're up. Argus is on deck.
I think you pretty much know what Smalls is going to do.
Rip and tear until it's done.
Pretty much. So I'll take my first attack at the first closest person that looks the most whole.
So are you going after the definitely hits? Are you going after the group that's already damaged, or are you going after the group that's in good shape?
I'll go after the one that's in good shape.
Okay.
So 19 to hit, and you said it hits.
Yeah, just for a quick reference, guys, their AC is 13. Speed things up a little.
Okay. All right. 10 damage plus rage for +2. That is going to be 12. And my Divine Fury, I'll roll 1d6 +3 to add to that. Another 5, so 17 damage
Yeah.
on the first swing.
Okay.
And swinging again. Oh, you said 13 was the AC?
13's their AC.
Hold on a second. I had a. Oh, I just won't even use that because you said that we have to use those inspirations in the same round. I had one left over from last time, but I'll pass on it. 13, I would have missed with a 12.
Okay. Don't you? Just real quick, there's something that you've had for a while that you've kind of forgotten to use. I know I'm not supposed to be helping as much, but I like to. You have something that allows you to re-roll. Oh, it's a saving throw. Never mind, you're good. Fanatical Focus allows you to re-roll a failed saving throw.
Yep, I looked at that one.
Okay. You already used your bonus action to rage. Okay, that's it for you, right?
Yep.
Hold the line. Right, Argus, you're up. Ellie is on deck.
Yeah, so I have 35-foot movement speed. That would put me up where Malin was originally at, right?
Yes, it'll still put you on the first deck. It'll get you to the stairwells leading up to the second deck, though.
I'll go ahead and use my action to dash to move 70.
Okay. Hell yes. That'll get you. That'll get you up to kind of where Malin and Smalls are. So, 70 will put you just in range of group number 1 right now.
Mm-hmm. weapons do I actually have?
So you dash, that's your action. Any bonuses?
I don't have any bonus actions that are currently usable that would be safe to use.
Okay. Guys, I'm gonna kind of push through and move along. Like, if you guys do forget something, or you're like, hey, because remember, the turn order isn't necessarily set in stone. If you want to move ahead of somebody or partner up, you can always shift stuff around. So remember, if you forget to use a bonus action, you still have it, and we get to the end of the turn order, it's like, hey, I really want to use this. Just remind me. It's just a kind of a way that I want to help kind of move us along and see what we can do about picking up combat speeds. That make sense?
Yes, Alpha potentially postpone my bonus action.
Cool. Beautiful. Moving on. Ellie, you're up. Drew's on deck.
Okay, so bad news for Ellie. She didn't have any essence or runes activated, so she's gonna use 2 sorcery points and inert 4 and put on the armor of Agathis. But she
Okay.
is down to 2 points.
Armor of Agathis, I believe, at first level gives you additional 5 temporary hit points, right?
Yep.
Cool. So you're up to 7.
Yep.
Okay. Any bonuses? Any movement?
Let's see. So they're all coming at us, right?
They're coming across the first set of hooks and landing on the 3rd level. Yes.
Okay, so I put on the armor of Agathis. That's a spell, so I can't use another spell.
That's your action. So unless you have a bonus action cantrip, no.
The only cantrip I have is Firebolt, and I would like to throw that at who I can see.
That's an action to cast, though. It's not a bonus action.
Oh, it's a cantrip. Oh, I thought you said a cantrip. Okay, well, I guess
It is. You can cast 2 spells in one turn, but one has to be a cantrip. But you already used your action, so you are wanting to use Firebolt, which is still an action, not a bonus action. You following me?
Well, my bonus action was to inert the runes, right? So now I have 4, and I put on the armor.
So does casting the spell as your bonus action, or is you casting the spell as your action?
So, what the essence runes is a bonus action that doesn't take anything.
Okay, and you can just activate that spell when you trigger those runes.
Yep.
Okay. Then yes, technically you could cast Firebolt, because that counts as your bonus action to cast Arm of Agathis. So yes, you can cast Firebolt as your action.
I only have one bonus action. I'm trying to get this clear in my head. I have one bonus action, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was inerting the runes. Okay, so that was a bonus action. And I didn't do it last time because I didn't know I didn't do it after a long rest.
Okay.
So now I put on the armor. So that's a spell. Or 1st level.
Yep.
So now I guess I don't have anything.
So if putting on the runes and putting on Armor of Agathis is not is not all together, and you had to cast Armor of Agathis, then yes, you've used your action. You're done.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, staying where you're at.
No, I'm gonna. Oh, I can't face step, can I? Is that a bonus action?
I don't know. You tell me.
So face step. Sorry. I can jump up to the top deck. Okay, sorry. It's a bonus action as well.
Okay. So you can still move, you just can't use that ability. So do you want to just move?
Yeah, I'm gonna dash towards the stairs going up.
Okay. You wanting to be kind of like farther back, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're
I
going to move
wanna
up
get out of the way.
Okay, you're moving up to the 3rd deck, farther back away from everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can see everything going on.
Okay. Been a while since we ran combat, everybody, so we're good. We're getting back into the flow of it here. All right, so that's Ellie. Drew, you are up. Maddie's on deck.
Okay, so just to clarify, I'm on the 3rd level.
2nd level.
And I'm on the 2nd level? Okay, I thought I was, because I was on my way to tell the captain.
You only made it about halfway before the bombs went off.
Okay. Where are they coming in from?
3rd level up by Smalls.
Okay.
So it's within movement range of you if you want to move to that.
Okay, and like, can you describe the hooks that are actually hooking into the ship?
They're like big curved, long. They're actually like blades. Like they are sharp on both ends of this thing, and they come down in kind of a fish hook, and they just spear into the ship itself. And then the no matter where the ships drift, they are just kind of hooked in.
Okay.
But they are giant, massive blades.
Okay. Is there anybody within like melee range of me?
And you can move towards Group 1 and 2. They're attacking Smalls right now.
Yeah, I'll move towards them.
Okay. What do you want
And
to do?
I'll use the burial blade for the first time.
Okay. Yeah.
If it'll let me, let's see. That's a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then that is 5 damage.
Okay. You going after Group 1 or 2? Or the most damaged one? What are you going to do?
Who's the least damaged?
Least damage is Group 2.
I'll go for group 2.
Okay. One guy in each of those groups is looking real fucked up.
How far away is Ellie?
15, 20 feet. Well, just about 30, I guess. Because she ran to the far end of the 3rd deck. So she's behind you
Okay.
guys.
So I'll cast a healing word her way.
Oh. Okay. And I
think.
believe you're...
Can I do that?
Hmm?
Can I do that as a bonus action, or is that an action?
No, it's bonus action. Healing word's a bonus
Okay,
action.
sick.
And I believe your new burial blade allows you to roll something, add a d4 to that healing, right?
I haven't read it yet.
You need to read it.
I do.
It adds a d4 to any healing spell that you cast.
Okay, cool.
So go ahead and roll the healing word, and then roll a d4.
Right.
Maddie, you're up.
All right, I'm below deck also, so I have a movement speed of 40, but that's still not going to get me all the way there. So I'm just going to get up as far as I can onto the deck 3 above it.
Okay, so you're using your full movement, or are you dashing?
Just full movement. I'm gonna use Eldritch Blast, I think, on group 3, or whichever one I have a clear sign of light on for a distance attack.
Okay, 40 feet of movement will get you just out of the cargo and just up the stairs to the base or the base of the 2nd level. So you have clear line of sight on just about everybody because you're at an elevated position.
Can I use a free perception check with a 9 to see if I see anything out of the ordinary? Like, is there more enemies or anything?
On a 9, can't tell. Just chaos right now with 4 groups coming at you.
You got it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do Eldritch Blast, and it's 2 missiles at this level. So first one's 16.
Hits.
Second one's 16.
Hits. Nice.
8 damage and 2. So 10 total.
Which group are you going after?
If I can see all of them, I'll just do group 3 so I don't accidentally hit somebody.
Okay. On group 3, 10 points of damage. You shred one of these members of this group. Just like literally damn near takes an arm off as this Eldritch Blast, dislocates the shoulder, head cocks to the side. He's done.
All right. And I don't have anything for bonus, so that'll be it for now.
Okay.
I'd actually like to crack my pan-searing smite, since I have a better visual awareness of what's going on in front of me.
Beautiful. You gonna prep that?
Action. Yep.
Okay. And Ellie, you got that 22 healing?
Yes. Sorry.
Beautiful. Hell yes. Okay. That is it. We're going to move up to the top. All of a sudden, the ships begin to, it begins to maneuver itself closer and closer and closer, and all of a sudden, the second set of hooks come crashing down. I need Maddie, Malin, and anybody else that was on the 2nd level to roll me a dexterity saving throw. DC is 18.
I thought Malin made it up to the first one with her.
Oh, true. Malin did make it up to the. She did make it up to the third level to attack with smalls. So anybody that's on the second level, I believe that's Maddie, and Maddie, you might be the only one there.
Where am I? I just went up, so I
You're
don't
on the
think I
first level.
I'm on the first level. Okay.
Okay. So Maddie, I need
Dexterity
you.
saving throw.
Yeah, dexterity saving throw DC is 18.
26.
Beautiful. These hooks come slamming down, these massive two things, just prong, just bam, bam, and dig into the ship and begin to draw it a little bit closer. You realize that these things come down with such force, they're like on massive springs, that they probably could have cut you in half.
All right. Duly noted.
And there you look, as you kind of look down the ship, I'll let you use that perception on a 9. You notice that there's 3 more hooks. So staying next to the edge of the ship is going to be a little dangerous, moving down.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. With that, all of a sudden, I need Quinn. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw yourself. Again, the DC. This DC is 16.
16 meets it, beats it.
Beautiful. All of a sudden, you notice from the back of the ship, this humongous net comes launching out. And it just barely misses you as it glazes over the top and goes slamming against the back of the ship. And you look over at the Vikander vessel, and there's this massive net cannon that is being operated at the back there. You barely missed you.
Can I see the operator?
Hard to see. Like
Okay.
I said, it looks like a giant ballista, but there seems to be like 2 panels, one on either side, that's kind of blocking, almost like like a big turret.
Okay.
Okay.
Noted.
All right, and with that, we're going to go back into it. So group 1 and 2, they are going to go after... Smalls, you are still the biggest threat, so they're going to continue to go after you. You said your armor class is 16, correct?
Correct.
All right, let's see here. Groups 1 and 2 coming after Smalls. These still have all 3 of their people. 6 of these. Only 1 misses. That's 5. That is 2. Yeah, that's 2d6. A lot of ones. That is 33 damage as they all come charging at you, blades slashing. They're coming at you with giant sabers, weird, strange hooks, all manner of things as they're coming at you. So 33, but you are still raging.
So have down to 16.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Give me a moment because I might have some bad news for everybody here. Let's see how this plays out, shall we?
Oh, I actually, if I can use...
Mark, these aren't new sources of damage. These are still the same ones coming at you, so you don't need to roll for them again.
It's per round.
Is that what we decided on?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yep. All right, then.
Yep. You must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw 3 times or go berserk.
Okay.
Whenever you take damage from a new source in a single round, or you take damage each round over 3 rounds of combat. So I took 2 the first round, and I just took a third.
Okay.
Smalls is officially going berserk.
Okay.
Point.
You are berserk for the next 3 rounds, then.
Is there like a visual cue when that happens? Like, can we tell?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
What's it look? What does this visual cue look like, Smalls?
We've already talked about this. Like, all of his tattoos start, like,
That's right.
glowing blood red, and his hair goes blood red. Like, you start to see blood start to drip out of his ears and from his eyes a little bit.
Like I said, it's been a while since we've been in combat. I ever forgot what it was, but hell yeah, he goes bloody Super Saiyan.
Yeah, so this is something that I would definitely notice as somebody standing near Ishia.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool, sick.
This is gonna be fun.
Love this.
Okay. Groups 3 and 4 are gonna press. What do I need from them? Nobody's crossed over onto the ship yet, but they are going to... Actually... Yeah, we're gonna do that. I need. They'll be just out of range. Hang on a second. Let me measure something real quick. Guys, be thinking about your turns. It's coming up here pretty quick. I need Maddie, Quinn, and Argus. Because you're still. Yeah. Because you're still not quite there just yet. So I need Maddie, Quinn, and Argus to make dexterity saving throws. DC is 12.
7.
3.
22.
22. Got 8d6 coming at you.
Are either Quinn or Argus within 30 feet of me, by chance?
Quinn is not. Argus is basically right next to you, just kind of behind you. He didn't quite make it to the enemies just yet.
Okay.
If she was able within 10 foot, then I actually am with the enemy. Because I had 10 more foot than she did.
She teleported.
Yeah, I used my psionic
Which is-
thing to push myself.
So technically where you are relative to where I am with this AoE, you are just behind her. Make sense?
Yes, I just miscalculated it.
Okay. With that, Maddie, you'd made the saving throw. You take 14 points of damage. Argus and Quinn, you each take 28 points of damage as Group 3 and 4 lob their own set of bombs over the edge and attack decks 2 and 3.
I'm gonna go ahead and use Hellish Rebuke on them.
Ooh, okay.
Creation, which is upcast at 2nd level because I'm a sorcerer, which is 3d10.
Fuck yeah, which
I'm
group you going
also
after?
going to use Protective Field on
So hang on,
Argus.
Okay, well hang on. Let me settle Argus's counterattack.
Mhm.
So, that's 23 fire damage.
23. Holy shit, which group are you going after?
It's whichever one hit me first. Is the Hellish Rebuke.
Pick
'Cause
one.
it's,
You want the highest? You want the one that looks best or the one that looks worst?
one
They
looks
They
best.
both came at you. One that looks most messed up.
Yep.
45.
I want to watch them burn for their insolence.
As you throw this hellish rebuke, the second of that group, like one was already dead. This is the one that Maddie blew his shoulder off. You hellish rebuke and light another one on fire, and he is almost reduced to cinders, and he burns. And the third one of the group like starts stammering back, and he starts trying to crawl away. There's only one left in that group.
Good.
So, Malin, what are you doing?
I'm using Protective Field on Argus.
Okay.
So it reduces the damage he takes.
Okay. How much is he getting back?
9.
Beautiful.
Since I took damage, I rolled for my concentration.
Thank you.
My constitution. I rolled a nat 20 for 22, above the 10. So I maintain concentration on my spell.
Is that a concentration save or is
Saving
it just a... Okay.
Constitution saving throw. Nat 20, you get your inspiration.
Heck yeah.
What is the math
So-
on losing concentration?
It has to be 10 or lower. I lose
Okay.
concentration.
Okay,
11 or
so
higher, I
it's-
maintain it.
Plus the
It-
level,
yeah.
like it's plus the damage or something. Yeah, what is it? It's the damage. Or
Is it the spell level plus 10?
no, because it's also taking physical damage as well.
Hold on.
On a nat 20, you save. I do
No,
need to
no,
read
it's
up
for
on
mine.
the. Oh,
Because I rolled an 11, so I would lose concentration on Searing Smite, I believe.
technically, I don't think you're holding concentration on that because it's part of the weapon ability.
Okay, if that's how you want to rule it. I was just reading it by saying duration is concentration up to 1 minute on it.
Yeah, because it's a
But I-
one-time. Basically, you can use that once per long rest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not considered concentration. So it's part of the weapon's ability. You're just triggering it, and it saves it for the next attack.
Understood.
Cool. So clarify on that.
Mm.
Okay. With that, that's all the groups. That's the layer action. We are into your guys' turn. Malin, you're up. Quinn's on deck.
Okay, I am going to use the double-bladed scimitar on the group that is in front of me.
All right. Group 2.
And I'm going to use my inspiration for that. It's a 19 to hit.
Hits.
That is 10 damage.
Nice. You shred one of these guys. Just chop, 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 chop.
I'm going to use Psionic Strike again.
Okay.
So that's another D8 plus 2, which is only 3.
Okay.
And then I get to attack again. I will once again use the double-bladed scimitar with a 16.
Hits. She's only 13.
Which is 7 damage.
Beautiful.
And then I'm going to use Second Wind. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I didn't already use a bonus action in those things, but I don't think those are bonus actions. Yeah, okay, I haven't used a bonus action yet. So I'm going to do that for Second Wind to heal myself a little bit. That is a D10 plus 5.
Okay. Just go ahead and heal yourself back. Is that it for you?
Yes.
Beautiful. Quinn, you are up. Smalls, you're on deck.
Sounds good. First thing, I'm going to command Cherry, my little rabbit familiar, to go run up near Smalls. Then
What's Cherry's movement speed?
50.
Oh. Yeah, she'll just barely get there. Okay.
She will get there better than I can.
quick little ass bunny.
Yeah. So there are. So I think I'm going to move forward 20 feet, which should put pretty much everybody in a 30-foot radius of me. I think everybody except Ellie, probably.
You'll be just at the base. Ellie will be outside of it, and technically Smalls will be just outside of it as well.
Okay, well, he can do his thing. He's about to be a problem. So, so everyone who is in there, I'm going to use Prayer of Healing.
Ooh.
So how this will look, because I've never used it before. A little flower is going to bloom at the top of your head, and then its petals are going to fall and heal you as they go down. I can target up to 6 creatures, and they regain hit points equal to 2d8 plus my modifier. So everyone who's in range will heal for 11 hit points.
Basically consists of everybody except for Ellie and Smalls.
Oh yeah, I get a heal too. And then I am. Oh, they have to make the con saves for my moonbeam because I maintain concentration. The 2 archer dudes.
The 2 groups on the still on the decks.
Yep.
So they just need to make the con saves again.
Yep.
Or what? Yeah, it's Constitution, right?
Yep, Constitution.
Yeah, they only had a +1 to that, so 15. That's a 2, and the other one's a 15.
All right, so the 2 is going to take 24 damage. The 15 is going to take 12 damage because they get half damage. The one that rolled lower is taking 24 damage. The other group is taking 12 damage.
So, holy shit. Group 3 is just about fucking done. Holy fuck. And then the other one took how much damage? 12?
12, yeah, because they took half damage.
All right. Group 3, like I said, that poor guy that is like the guy that got his, one of his homies got his arm and head almost blasted off by Maddie, and the other one got lit up and burned to cinders by Argus. He's just trying to crawl away, doing everything that he can. All of a sudden, this moonbeam comes and just starts barbecuing his ass. He's nothing but just a little bitty flesh pile barely hanging on, but he's there.
He's barely hanging on. Okay. Then
Barely
I-
there.
Good, good, good,
Ah.
good.
And then I'll use my remaining movement to back up 10 feet. Yeah, so I'm still not as close, but I'm trying to maintain distance. So yeah,
Okay.
10 feet back.
All right.
And that is all I've got.
All right. All right. Smalls, you're up. Argus is on deck.
All right, so Quinn just went after group 3. I should have still have 2 groups in front of me, right?
Yes. There's 3 remaining in one group and 2 remaining in another.
Okay, so I'll go first off after the group that has 2.
Nice.
So that would be a 22 to hit, which hits.
Definitely.
And damage on that looks to be 13, and I still get my each of your turns. Yeah, so I still have my Divine Fury, 13 plus 1d6 plus 3. Oh, that's dumb. 4. So 7. 13. 4, yeah. 17 more damage.
So what's the total damage?
17.
17 to group 2?
Yep.
Okay. All right. You shred another one of these guys. Damn near splitting him in half like a fucking tree. 1 remains.
What's that?
You split one of the guys in that group, but just like damn near in 2. Like you're cutting a log. All that wood chopping you were talking about earlier.
Yep. Well, now Smalls is going to swing at the last guy out of that group.
Okay.
And that is a 24 to hit. Definitely hits.
Huh?
Man, I am not rolling strong right now. 12 damage, though.
Okay. Barely hanging on by a thread, but he is still alive.
Okay. And as my bonus action, I am going to cut a blood boom.
Okay. Reduce that damage. And hang on to it. Okay. Argus, you're up. Ellie's on deck.
So to confirm, the poor squad that assaulted me is now annihilated. That I hellish rebuked. From what I
Basically,
confirmed.
yeah. Group 3 back on the deck is pretty fucked up. He's barely hanging on.
Are they within 35 foot of me?
Yeah, technically.
I'm gonna close that distance.
You're going to take opportunity attacks. You only have one way across the ship right now, and that's through groups 1, 2.
Okay, then. Oh yeah, because they fired arrows.
Yes.
My brain is not braining very well today. Not gonna lie.
Like I said, been a while since we ran a good combat, so everybody's getting back in the groove here.
And then Smalls is currently in range in front of me. I'll attack the group with 3 that's in front of Smalls.
Okay.
Using green flame blade through the pan.
Okay.
So it just makes it have a splash effect. So it'll do
Okay.
1d8 plus 4 additional damage to the second target.
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
All right.
Okay, so because it's my first attack, it gets plus 3 fire damage on top
Okay.
of the searing smite.
Yep.
And
Yeah, this is the beefy one.
yeah, so I forgot I should. I'm gonna roll that as adjusted for critical damage because I failed to do that. So we roll the critical damage and then double that number, correct? That's the formula.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah, crits are super dangerous.
Yeah, that's six. That's 10, 14, 20. That is 40.
40?
to the first target.
And you're going to have to group 1, the one that had still 3 remaining.
Correct. It will
Okay.
then splash an additional. Since it's a critical, would it be 2d8 for the second one?
Yeah, why not? I mean, this guy literally has 5 hit points left, so fuck it. Let's see how big this gets.
I should just roll custom dice for that instead. That would be 2d8s. So that is 8, 16, another 20 of splash.
Yeah. You literally reduce this guy to a pile of embers as this like rolling flame from your pan knocks the one guy and it bounces to the second, immediately cooks the first 2, singes the hell out of the last remaining guy in group 1 as he falls back a little bit, and then the flame immediately jumps to this last poor bastard in group number 2 and reduces him to absolutely nothing. He is just ash in the wind floating down the river at this point. Smoked. Okay.
They shouldn't have touched my boat.
Group 2 is down. All right. Anything else for Argus?
No, that was the economy.
Ellie, you are up. Drew's on deck.
Right. So Ellie's up there, and can she see the helm?
Yeah. You're talking about where the cannon was?
Yeah. Where yeah, all the important stuff is at the helm, right? I mean, we have 3 groups.
There's 3 groups remaining, and then you have some kind of cannon that's at the back of the ship, at the helm, that's firing nets and stuff at you for right now.
Okay, so Ellie's going to throw a firebolt at the helm.
Oh, okay. At the net cannon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is 15.
15, unfortunately, does not hit.
Yeah.
This thing is pretty heavily armored. It, like I said, it looks like a giant kind of ballista, almost like you would imagine like a modern day mounted gun. It has panels on the left side, panels on the right side. Looks like there might be somebody that's kind of peeking over the top that has like a clear line of sight and is firing these giant nets out of this thing. It is pretty heavily armored and well protected, though, especially at this distance. But you do have clear line of sight on it. You can still hold on, just because you can still hold on to your fire damage extra just until you hit somebody.
Okay.
Any bonuses? Any movement?
As a bonus, she's gonna inert. No, she's not. I don't want to be glowing. I don't think I can do anything else. Unless, okay, so that was a cantrip. Can I throw a spell? Cast a spell?
If it's a bonus action.
Nope.
Because remember, you can cast 2 spells in one round. One has to be an action, and then the other has to be a bonus action. And there has to be a leveled spell and a cantrip. You can flip-flop between the 2.
Oh, okay. Then I am going to level 2 magic missile.
That is a action. That's a leveled spell. It has to be a bonus action.
But firebolt was a cantrip.
Yes, and it took an action. So your next level spell has to be a bonus action.
Okay, let me get there. Hold on. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's like
there is a particular feat that I think you should take later on that we'll talk about, but we'll get more into that later. It'll save you some of this.
All right. No, I don't have any.
No bonuses?
I don't. The only thing I can do is
be thinking about it. If there's something you want to come back to, be thinking about it. Drew, you're up. Maddie's on deck.
Are both groups that were near me in smalls, are they both done? Or just one of them?
One group is done. There's one guy that's pretty fucked up in it in the last group of group 1.
Okay. I don't know if I have any like spells that I can attack with that are a bonus action, but I do want to summon Beast.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. Wait, how many groups are there left?
3.
Yeah, I'll summon Beast.
Okay. Bring it. Where are you putting it?
Probably just like in front of me.
Okay. Attacking with your group. So that's
Yeah.
that's an action, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is the first time you've summoned a beast. What does this look like for Drew? What are you bringing in?
So it's a large bear. So think like a Kodiak grizzly bear, but I would imagine it's kind of like see-through, celestial, ghostly even.
All right. Ghost bear.
Probably a little scary, almost like it's made out of like black light.
Groovy. Hell yes. So you drop this black light groovy bear in front of everybody.
Yeah.
All right. That's your action. Any bonus? Any movement?
I think I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. Be thinking
Wait,
about it. Oh.
Yeah, does Smalls look like he needs healing?
I leave that up to you. You do notice that he has gone berserk.
Okay, so he's probably fine. Is there anybody else within 60 feet of me?
Within 60 feet of you?
Yeah.
Just about everybody.
Okay. Does anybody look particularly fucked up?
Does anybody?
Yeah, anybody need healing? Hello, sound off.
Quinn's at like half health.
Okay, anybody else?
Above the table, I'm only missing 6. I'm fine. I feel like Ellie's the biggest HP deficit at the moment, actually.
Ellie might be.
Yes, she
Yeah,
is.
you need more healing? Okay. I'm taking all my healing spells, Ellie.
I know, because I'm greedy.
Squishy sorcerers.
Yes.
All right. Drew, Maddie, you're up.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move towards the back of the ship away from the hooks so that when this comes back around, I don't get hit, or I can at least dodge it well.
Okay.
Wait, it's my bear's turn.
Oh, your bear goes right after you.
Yeah, my bear goes right after me.
Fuck yeah, okay. I didn't realize it had its own movement and everything. Bring it on.
No, I forgot.
Okay.
All familiars have their own movement.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was go for it.
Yeah.
New stuff.
Okay, oh wait, shit, there's numbers.
Maddie, if you're ready to go, Drew, think about it. We'll come back to you,
Yeah,
okay?
I'll do
Maddie,
math.
go for it.
Yeah, so I just want to get away from the edge for when the hooks come back out.
Okay.
And is it 3 or 4 that's still alive for groups?
Group 1, Group 3, and Group 4 are still alive. Group 4 is looking the most solid. Group 1 and Group 3 are fucked up.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do Group 3 then for my Eldritch Blast again, just for distance.
Okay. Are you going to move up to the third deck, or are you still going to stay on the second? Because the Group 1 is on Group...
yeah, I'll go to the third, but again, kind of want to be like back with like the captain's quarters, so I'm away from the hooks and everything.
Yeah, you're up by Ellie then.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Then Eldritch Blast will be a 21 and a 22. Should both be hits.
Definitely.
7 on the first one. Are they still alive?
Still alive.
9 on the second, so 16 total.
He had 15 left.
Perfect.
Fuck it. You describe this one. How do you finish off this group? Last guy standing in Group 1.
So same thing as last time. Just I'm gonna have both hands out, so both of them Eldritch Blasts come out, and they're all like shadowy and dark and black, like a little evil type of a feel. They come out and just incinerate them essentially.
Okay.
And then for my bonus action, it's the first time I'm using Second Wind to gain back some life too. The only theatrics with it is still kind of dark with like the other stuff, but it's like I'm inhaling and then like black smoke and like evil or darkness comes into me and I heal.
Fucking love it.
And that is everything right now.
Awesome. Drew, what you got with this bear? You muted if you're talking, Drew. Allie?
Is there actually? I realize I have 2-weapon fighting, so I can use my health cleaver as a secondary. Are they within melee range of me still? The other guys?
No.
Okay. I thought not. I just
So,
want to check.
yeah, if you're going to switch up to 2-weapon fighting, then yeah, keep that in mind for next round. Drew, you there?
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing with this bear?
Okay, so I get 2 attacks with the bear. So it's a slash and then a bite. The slash was 24 to hit, so that hits, and then that's 6 damage.
You going after group 3 or 4? You're going to send the bear forward. So you want to go after the poor guy that's crawling for his life, or the group that's in pretty good shape?
We'll go after the group that's in pretty good shape.
Okay.
So that's 6 points of damage for the first attack. And then and then 11 points for the second.
Yeah, this bear shreds one of the guys in this group, just mauls into him as the other 2 immediately stammer back and try to crawl away from this massive hulking ghost bear that is now eating their friend on the deck here. Sorry, how much did you say for the second one?
11 points.
11? Yeah, okay. All right. Is that it for everybody? All right. With that, we're going to move into the next round. The ship begins to close closer together. Quinn, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 22 as these hooks are coming down. You are on the second deck. Last hook.
At 9.
9?
I would have to roll nat 20 to beat it. Yeah, 9.
You'd have to roll a nat 20 to beat a 12?
I thought you said 22 or 22.
No, 12, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the 9.
Okay. So with the 9. All right. Just a second.
Do I have reactions?
All right. Do. That is 23 points of damage as these blades come crashing down and just kind of almost split one of your legs wide open as you could just barely get out of the way of this thing cutting you. So they're basically splitting you down the middle, but you're able to dodge out, but you take a nasty, nasty cut. 23 points of damage.
Sounds good. And I did look up the rules for maintaining concentration. It's 10 or half the damage, whichever's higher.
Perfect. So half this damage would be rounded down. We round damage down, so 11.
11? All right.
Damage done is rounded down. Damage done to damage you guys do is rounded up. Damage done to you is rounded down. I'm nice like that.
Damage.
Well, unfortunately,
damage out. Up.
Yep.
Unfortunately, even with advantage, I failed that, so I lose concentration.
Yeah, so you lose your moonbeam. So all of a sudden, these beautiful blue lights are just gone. You did take a nasty cut to the leg, so understandable.
Yeah.
All right.
Smalls would take half that damage, right?
That's true. If you guys are wanting to use your rings.
Smalls, take half the damage.
How much is that?
11.
I take 11.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't think your ring allows you to have that damage if you take it from her, right?
No.
Yeah,
No.
so it's just straight damage.
Yeah, but I even with even then, I think the spirit of the game is I concentrate against the maximum power hit me. So
yes, Absolutely.
Yeah, so concentration fails. My
Cool.
moonbeams.
All right. With that, groups 3 and 4. Well, very little remains of group 3 and group 4 are going to retreat back, and they're going to remove to the stairs just below, or actually move up the stairs just to where the net cannon is. And I need everybody else, and I mean everybody, to make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 12.
I'm gonna use the inspiration because fuck that. Net 20 again.
Just let me know if anybody gets below a 12.
Okay.
Smalls.
Quinn.
Maddie as well. I don't think I can stop it.
Okay. All of a sudden, something shifts in the net cannon. You hear a giant clunk, 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 as something kind of shifts into gear, and all of a sudden, these they look like massive crossbow bolts, load up into a magazine and shift the last net that was loaded up just kind of gets spit out to the side, and all of a sudden you hear this thing wind up, and you see giant crossbow bolts come fanning across the deck of your entire ship, and you just hear damage taken. If you didn't make the saving throw, is 21. If you did, it is 10. 21 damage to all.
I took 21. Okay. They're gonna take 3d10.
I have that with rage.
Yes, it is piercing damage.
Are Quinn or Maddie within 30 feet of me?
Yeah, everybody at this point. You guys are kind of all clustered up there at the top of the decks 2 and 3.
Okay. I'm going to use my reaction, the protective field on Quinn.
Okay.
So she can reduce the damage by 3.
Cool.
We'll still take it because it means I'm not down. Smalls, how are you looking right now?
So Smalls, having heard this and being in berserk mode, got extremely pissed off, and using one of his stones of endurance, he got hit by a bolt, and it literally just hit him in the chest and fell. He took no damage.
Can I give Smalls half my damage? I don't know if it's a willing thing or if it's automatic. That's the question, really.
I think technically it's a willing thing that you guys can choose to take half damage for each other if you so choose. I think that's how that ring works.
And I was attacked, correct?
What's that?
I was, for all intents and purposes, hit with an attack.
Yes.
Hellish Rebuke again. They touched my butt. Okay. I forgot about the DC roll of a deck save, which only has damage. So it's a DC 13.
13. This is a fucking trebuchet. It has shit for dex, so -2. I rolled a 2, so 0.
It takes 6 fire damage.
6, nice.
They touched my boat.
Nope.
Well, they touched technically Captain Alexander's boat, but I'm on the boat at the moment, so they touched my boat.
Okay.
Can I cast Spiny Shield as a
Is
reaction?
that a reaction?
It is.
Yeah.
So it'll reduce my damage, and it'll give the same amount of piercing damage to the attacker. But does that work in this scenario?
Technically, yes. I'm just gonna have it because he's behind protection.
Okay.
Smalls is gonna have to take 9 damage because you have to willingly end it with the bonus action or remove the ring.
Okay, 9 damage.
Yeah.
Cool. And how much was the spiny attack, Drew? Damage-wise?
7.
7? Okay. That's rounded down to 3. Okay. Alright. Is that it for reactions and everything? Cool.
I'm clear.
We're gonna move in.
No, I'm sorry, I was on mute. It's like Ellie. I keep trying to say. So Ellie's going to use Glyph of Aegis to
Okay.
reduce the damage with her runes. So she has
Nice.
4 runes. So she rolls 1d6 for every rune.
Nice. I'm gonna get what? 4?
I have 4, yeah.
Okay. Bring it. Reduce that damage.
Damn it, that's 1.
Okay. Just go ahead and give yourself
Wait,
that.
5? I have to roll 4 of them.
That's fine. Go ahead and give it back to yourself when you're all set. I trust you.
Okay.
All right. The last remaining groups are going to go. There's 1 remaining in this group and 3 remaining in the other. They're going to come after everybody with crossbows. Right now, Argus, you are considered the big threat after that critical hit. So we got 4 of them coming at you. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 17.
17. Not too bad. Nat 1 on one of them. The other 3 do hit you though.
Huh.
So that is the crossbows are not much. Where'd you go? Right there. Yeah. So. Do. You take 6 points of piercing damage from the hand crossbows as these guys get into position. The group does notice that they start kind of like diving into container, like there's boxes and crates and stuff like that up on top of this deck, and it kind of looks like they're diving in to grab something, each one of them. The one guy is like barely hanging on. He just kind of like reaches back. This is the guy that rolled a nat 1. He's like trying to pull himself up the stairs little by little. He's barely hanging on, reaches back and just like shoots wide. The crossbow bolt goes nowhere. He's got nothing left to him. So with that, we are back into your guys' rotation. Smalls, I need you to roll me a luck check real quick. You're looking for an 11 or higher. Just roll me a straight nat 20. No bonuses.
A luck check?
Yep, we're going to see if you think these guys are still a threat or if Argus has become your new target.
Yeah.
You want an 11 or higher?
Where would I find luck?
Oh, no, it's just roll me, it's what I call it. Roll me a nat 20. Or just roll me a d20. You're looking for an 11 or higher.
Okay.
And yes, Ellie, you did get some healing back from Brew, I believe. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
So that
thank
would
you.
be a 7, except for the based off of how we talked about this. I get your thought process, but Smalls would still be going after perceived enemies. The people that had attacked him.
It's the biggest threat, and everybody that was attacking you is dead.
Yeah, I kind of actually deleted the ones attacking you, so I would probably, in that state, be the next big scary thing within range of swinging. Which
That's why I'm
sucks for
giving you.
robot.
That's why I gave you the luck check to see if you would perceive him after that nat 20 to be the biggest threat. Now, you are berserk.
All right.
All the other guys were firing crossbows and throwing bombs, and they were not attacking you. They've moved away, and they went after other people with those attacks. They went after Argus, technically.
Well, Argus, I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay. I understood what I was signing up for when I got this close to you.
It's like technically the net did damage as well, but it's still less than what Argus did for that round. So I gave you the luck check. All right. Top of the round, Malin, you're up. Quinn, you're on deck.
Okay, so where are
Before
go ahead.
Melon goes up, me and Maddie are going to use a team up attack.
Okay.
So we'll move to the bottom of the round.
Okay.
You can do that now if you want to.
No, the rules as written is we move to the bottom of the round.
They go last. So
Okay.
last, bottom of the rotation.
Oh, okay. That is something that I missed before getting here. Okay.
Because if I had like legendary actions or layer actions to try and trip them up to try and prevent that from happening to me, that gives me an opportunity to try and counter you.
I see.
Balance.
Okay. Where would the closest targets be to me?
They're about 60 feet away from you at this point because they ran back. They are sitting on their deck, the upper deck of their ship next to the net cannon. So technically, the closest guy is the dying dude with barely anything left crawling up the stairs. The others are up on the upper deck. So 60 feet.
Okay. I will I'm gonna use I'm gonna make my way towards them. So
Okay.
that's halfway. Oops, I did not mean to roll that. Please ignore that.
Are you dashing or doing anything?
I'm going to use telekinetic movement because I can get it back if I expend a psionic energy die.
Nice.
So that way I can get myself all the way there.
Okay.
And then
Bad.
I am going to use I'm going to invoke a blood curse
Nice.
on one of them.
That's your malediction thing, right?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
the
All
blood
right.
maledict. I am going to amplify it. So I'll take the 1d4 damage in a second.
Okay.
But is there like a specific group, or is it like?
You have the one guy that's barely still alive, crawling up the stairs, then you have what's left of group 4.
I feel like using it on him would be a bit overkill. So I'll use it on group 4.
Okay.
So it's a creature that I can see within 30 feet of me. I roll an additional die, which I haven't been able to find what that die is exactly,
I think it's a
but
D8.
it's basically extra damage.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's a D8 right now. If not, we'll call it a D8 for right now for the sake of expediency. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
This is new stuff.
Okay, so I will do the double-bladed scimitar attack.
Okay. Going after him with your claws. Remember, these are not like, you're not holding weapons. These are literally parts of your arms, like mantis blades coming out.
As I'm walking past the guy who's like going up the stairs, I'm gonna be like, I'll give you a little bit of mercy for now. And then continue past him. I rolled a 21 to hit.
That definitely hits. I'm not going to even make him do a... He literally has 1 HP, guys. He's so no opportunity attack. Like, he can lunge at you, but he ain't going to do shit.
Poor dude.
And then for
for
the second, because I get 2 attacks, the second one is a dirty 20.
Definitely hits.
And that would be on the group, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then I roll the scimitar damage, which is 10. Wow, I'm getting a lot of 10 damages. Okay. So that's 10 on that, and then a D8 for the curse?
Yeah, we'll call it a D8 for right now.
Okay.
It's like when you empower it, I know it does more, I think, but for right now, I can't remember what it is.
And then I'm also going to do a psionic strike, so do you want me to just roll D8 for it?
Yeah, if you've got psionic dice left, go for it.
I do, it is my last one.
Okay, go for it. Just roll it all together.
13 total extra damage, so
Extra damage.
23 total.
Okay, 13. You split apart one of these guys. The one of the last 2 that are remaining in this group. Actually, I'm gonna take this speak real quick because what your blood malediction looks like. I'd say the only people that could really see this 100% clearly right now is Smalls, but he's berserk, and Argus.
Okay.
At this point, your blood malediction, when it happens, like I said, you fan out your blades and your jaw right there at your lip, right down the center, splits, and your jaw splits into 2 and fans out, and these wicked looking like little sharp little tendrils and like teeth-like appendages come out of your jaw, and you just open wide as you crush down on these people. Think like how the predator's mouth kind of works. It just fans out in this nasty roar, and those black insects that I was describing when you quote unquote went down that last time after the curse took you out. Those black insects come pouring out of your maw, and just start infesting these people.
Oh, fun!
And then when it's done, it seals back up, and your mouth goes back to normal.
Okay.
So how much damage was that total?
23?
Nice, yeah.
Okay.
One guy left.
I'm just gonna. Can I like try to intimidate him? With what just happened?
Fuck it. Yeah. What do you want to do? It's like I'm not going to make you roll for it. This will be fun.
I'm gonna like wipe my jaw, like as if I'm like cleaning myself, and be like, "You look pretty tasty too."
Yeah, he is like scrambling right now, desperate to try and get away from you, but he can't seem to quite find his footing, so he doesn't leave your area of effect. Okay. That's Malin. Who's next? That is Quinn. You're up. Smalls, you're on deck.
I'm at the back of the order.
Oh, that's Drew. Smalls, you're up. Drew, yeah, fair. You were there with your bear, so you would have seen this too. Trying to remember where everybody was at.
Well, Smalls is, if he's got Argus perceived as the biggest threat, is going to take a swing at him.
Yep.
I'm gonna have my arms open, ready for my hug.
All right, first attack. Oh, God. 19.
Hits.
27. And
Ooh.
thank God they didn't crit.
You said
So
27 though, yeah? Or is that just rolls to hit?
That was rolls to hit.
Okay. So yeah, both those
Hold on.
hit.
Oh, that was just. Oh, hold on. $20 points of damage.
20 points? Is that total?
Yeah.
Or-
That was. No, that's still the first attack. Now I got to attack again. And that's the same attack. 27 to hit. Damage looks like, less ish. 12 plus 2, 14.
I'll save you the math. I'm on the floor. But
Sorry, buddy.
You're good. You only overkilled me by 12, so it's not as bad as it was last time. You're learning better to hold back. Good job, buddy.
I'm trying. Apparently, Smalls gets very cranky at his own team because my dice hit harder against my own team.
That is your second round of Berserk. You got one more.
So, okay.
Yeah, I remember. I think we had to finalize that you only stay Berserk for 3 rounds, and then it resets, and you got to roll 3 more times.
Well, we need to change the rules on that, or write it into that then, because I was looking at it, and the axe itself says that I have to beat the wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, we need to clarify on it. Just a way. I think just a way to simplify it.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Any movements or bonuses?
No.
Stack another blood boon.
No, not stacking another blood boon. He's
Bummer.
Smalls right now is just gonna Smalls is gonna Smalls and hope, and Mark is gonna hope that he's
Argus, make me your death saving throw.
Fail.
Okay. Ellie, you're up. Drew's on deck.
All right. So, hey, stop. Ellie's gonna. She could still see the cannon, right?
Yes, it's like 90 feet, a little bit more away from you, but yes, you can see it.
All right. So she's gonna arm her hidden ace with the glyph of warding, and she's
Okay.
gonna fling it into the mouth of the cannon. And
Okay.
then she's gonna turn around and use firebolt on the cannon. So anything that touches the cannon, it's gonna explode.
Fuck.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Do you have to roll for the glyph of warding with your hidden ace?
Nope. It's a bonus.
Okay. Hell yes. The glyph of warding. What is glyph of warding? Puts a glyph on something that if somebody touches it, it explodes, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So there's no roll to attack. It's just something that you can see within distance.
Or holds the dispel that you imbue into it.
Yep.
Okay. What's the damage on it?
Let's see. If I use fire damage, it's 5d8.
I'm gonna mark this down for top of the round.
So 5d8 So I can cast it and then do the 5d8, and then I can use. But I thought I'd use Fireball to set it off.
In that case, fuck it. Yeah, I like this. Fireball. Let's see if you hit with the fireball. If not, then the glyph will sit there till the top of the round and will trigger if somebody touches the cannon.
All right.
Hell yes, I love that.
So that's a 16,
16 hits.
which does 2 what? 2d10.
Okay.
It says 2.
2 damage. Hey, if the intention was to set off the 5d8, so roll me the 5d8. You can, or I can roll it here on the app if you want me to.
Yeah, I have it on the app.
Okay, roll it.
25. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. 25.
Plus 2 is 27,
7.
right?
Yeah. In one fell swoop, you chuck this ace. Like you just pull this card out of your sleeve and just this little delicate like gambit like toss 90 feet across these ships and just nail the mouth of this trebuchet. Well, it's technically, yeah, it's a trebuchet firing crossbow bolts at you, and all of a sudden, this magical glyph just kind of sits embedded on the sides of the protective edgings of this thing, like the panels that are protecting the guy that's firing this thing. And you just like chuck a little firebolt across the way, and it just barely like sizzles on the side of the panel, just kind of like nothing crazy. And the guy that's firing kind of sticks his head out and begins to laugh a little bit, like, "Is that the best you got?" And then boom! All of a sudden, the entire front of this thing erupts into this massive damage, and the thing almost like it barely holds together. It's still functional, but he is like singed across his face. His hair blows back. Like incredible, awesome move.
Would you say that it was the ace in the hole?
Oh yeah, definitely. Awesome move. This thing is heavy. This thing is heavily damaged. It went from kind of like barely damaged to heavily damaged in one move. Awesome, love it.
Cool.
Okay,
That's all I got.
that's Ellie. All right, hell yes. Sorry, who's up next? Drew, you're up. Maddie's on deck.
Yeah, so I want to do Spare the Dying.
Okay. Yeah, you can use it at a distance because your cleric thing.
Yeah.
Okay. You gonna stabilize Argus?
Yeah.
Cool. That's your action, right? Or is that a bonus?
Yes. It's a bonus action.
Okay, you still have your action.
Oh shit. Hold on. It says it's. I'm confused because it says I have 30 feet, and then it says you touch a living creature.
Yeah, the actual spell is like you have to. It's a touch spell, but because of your Death Domain cleric thing, you can use it at distance, so you're fine.
Okay. So because I'm very special. Okay, cool. Oh, sick.
I like it.
Oh, that means I can't use another cantrip. Who is there? Anybody close to me? Any other groups? Or are they all dead?
There's 2 groups left technically. There's the dude that's still lingering on the stairs, hanging on with 1 hit point, and then there's one guy that's just watched his buddy get kind of like melted and devoured somewhat by Malin. So.
Okay. Can I get into melee range on any of them?
You're going to be a little bit too far because you only have 30 feet of movement, I believe, right?
Okay.
So.
Yes, I do. I wait. Where
Yeah,
would that be?
I think it's under like. So. It's under speed and defenses. I think you only have 30.
I don't know how fast I am.
Either way, you can't get into melee range just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, you have 30 feet.
Okay. I think I can move my bear. I don't know what their movement is. Okay, 40 feet.
Yeah.
Can I get?
You can get him to the poor guy on the stairs.
Okay, sick.
Because he was already somewhat on the ship.
Okay, perfect.
He rethought his decisions.
Yeah, this poor guy's still trying to pull himself up the fucking stairs and
That's
send a bear after him.
19, so that hits.
Yes, he has one hit. You cannot roll low enough to not kill this guy. So what does it look like when this
Okay.
shadowy bear rips
Okay,
this
so
little bastard apart?
I don't even need to roll the damage.
Nope, he had 1 hit point left this
Okay,
whole time.
so we'll go with bite, and the bear's just gonna reach down and grab him, like just grab his head in its maws and like shake it around.
Yeah. Crushes, and actually it has enough of a paw, it almost almost damn near pops his head off, and his body, well, it does pop his head off, and his body just goes flopping over the edge of the ship into the water below.
Awesome.
Alright. Maddie, you're up.
Okay, so we're doing the team up attack. That uses our bonus action, right? So do we still have our
Yes.
normal actions too?
Yes, you still have your actions.
Which one should we do first then? Since we're both at the bottom of the round now.
Up to you guys.
Okay.
What do you mean? Like, who should go first?
Yeah, like should we do our team attack first, and then we both get our actions after that?
No, you're using your actions for the team attack. So you're trying to combo something together. So either your attacks or a spell. So even if you don't get the +10 to hit, you still get your regular actions. You get your regular attacks to do damage.
Oh, so the bonus action was just to team up.
Just to set it up. Yes, you're calling that using your bonus action.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense then. And there's only one guy left on the ship that we know of?
There's one guy left, and then there's one guy manning the cannon.
All right, Quinn, you started this, so make it happen.
Sounds good. So we are going to aim at the cannon. They can handle the one guy. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt. It is a 25 to hit.
Jeez, yeah.
And it's
Okay.
got a 120 foot range, so I can cast it from wherever I want. Yeah, so 25 to hit. Does it hit?
It hits. Yeah, you beat it by 10 or more.
Heck yeah. Then
Technically, because honestly, I'm gonna actually lower this thing's AC because I'm gonna say that the fucking move by Ellie blew off the protective sidings on this thing, so its AC is down to 12 with everybody, or 13 with everybody else now.
I'm
So
still
are
going
you-
to use inspiration.
I still have a question though. So I attack rolls made against the target the first attack roll made against the target has advantage. So would Maddie automatically get advantage?
Yeah, technically, if he's going after you.
Heck yeah. Combo attack.
19.
19 doesn't beat it by 10 or more.
Does it still do normal damage?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it has 2 missiles, I guess, right? So let me see what the other one is.
You roll even with your advantage and stuff. You rolled 19.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was
Unfortunate.
my second blast is only an 11, so only one of them hits.
Okay. So we have a guiding bolt and one eldritch blast.
Guiding bolt deals 15 damage.
Okay. What's that eldritch blast do?
1 damage.
Okay.
You better not miss this.
Unfortunate. No, but that's the general idea. If you guys beat the AC by 10 or more, absolutely. Like you would both then roll your damage for your attacks, and then you would roll it twice on the app, so you get double damage opportunities. But unfortunately, Maddie didn't. You both have to beat it by 10.
Oh, I don't know why I was under the impression because it was separate. Is it too late to use my inspiration from the 20 earlier then?
No.
Let me just try one more.
Sure.
Just to give Quinn some fanciness. Yeah, I got a natural 1, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Ouch.
Quinn's talking shit while she's firing her firebolt. her guiding bolt.
You
Here, I'll
should.
make the target brighter for you.
Flubbed it. Unfortunate. But yeah, this is like I said, guys, we can tweak this if it needs to be more clear on something for the future. Absolutely. The idea is as you guys continue to grow and work together, you would eventually lower that to beating the AC by 5 together. So just an idea. It's like you can improve upon this later. It just takes a certain kind of connection. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Is that everybody? All right. With that, I need everybody except for Malin. You're close enough. No. Drew, you're close enough. No. The bear is close enough. I need everybody that is not Malin, the bear, and Drew to make dexterity saving throws. Top of the round.
Since I'm on the floor, do I just automatically fail that saving throw? I'm just
Yes,
stabilized on the floor, so.
Yeah, so you'll take. Technically, you're at 0. You're not dying, so you will go back to making death saving throws after this.
Okay.
So, make sense?
It does. Save me, bear!
Because the ballista has been damaged again, the DC is lowered to 10 this time.
When I said that I want to be away from the hooks, is it the hooks or is this a different one?
This is the cannon coming at you.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, if you dealt more than 1 damage to it, we probably wouldn't have this issue.
I did warn you that I did not have a good elder. That's fine. It's fine. 16.
Oh shoot, what is this thing? This is. All right. Yeah. All right. All right. Did anybody fail the 10? Okay. Everybody takes 11 points of damage except for Drew, the bear, and Malin.
How much?
11.
I got a dirty 20.
Yeah, this is halved. So it's 20. It's 23 points of damage again, halved to 11, because everybody made the save. As he's as he's trying to hold this thing together, he's loading bolts and he just fans across the ship again. 11 to everybody. Argus, you are back to making death saving throws.
Yes. I'm also not the
And that was
target
from the
priority
cannon?
of.
That's from the cannon. Yes.
Shit.
And I'm going to. It's got a little bit left in it. The one last guy is going to take a slash at Malin. Malin, does an 18 hit you?
Yes. Oh, yeah, pizza.
Pizza. Okay. 6. He's coming at you, just flailing. 8 points of slashing damage.
Mhm.
Okay. That's it for the ship.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
When he does that, I'm going to be like, oh, that was a nice attempt.
This poor bastard.
And then I hit him with a 21.
I got you, Smalls. We're almost done here, man. There's hardly anything left of these guys. Sorry, Malin. Go ahead.
You're good. I hit him with a 21.
Yeah, he's. Go ahead.
That is 8.
Okay.
Does the blood maledict stay on him? Or do I
Yeah,
have to, like,
it
redo
counts
that?
as the group, so technically it's still one entity.
Okay, cool. So then I can still do.
I believe so. Or do you have to cut it every single time?
It doesn't say so. It just says 1 time per short rest. It doesn't say how often I can apply the curse.
It's fine for now. We'll get
Or like if it ends for a round or something.
Yeah, I'll have to research it because, like I said, it's that's a whole
A
new
new thing.
thing. Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
cool. So just go ahead.
I'll do the 15 damage total.
Barely hanging on by a thread, but this guy is still alive. I'm gonna say you got your hooks you got your blades impaled up into him, but he's just hanging in there.
Okay. Oh, I get a second attack.
Yes, you do.
Haha. That is another 21 to hit.
Yeah. And he's got 3 hit points left, so just
I got him with a 10.
Yeah, he's done. What does it look like? You've already got your blades up underneath this guy's ribs and kind of picking him up off the ground. You got your maw open because you still have your maledict going a little bit. So what does it look like when you just shred this guy apart?
Just before I kill him, I'm gonna say in probably a very distorted voice because my mouth opened funky. I'm gonna go, you should probably pray to whatever god you worship. And then slash through him, like rip my hands out of him.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Quinn, you're up. Smalls is on deck.
So there's only the cannoneer dude, right?
Yep.
I am going to go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt again, so hopefully somebody hits it. For 22 to hit.
Hits.
20 damage.
20?
20.
It had, goddamn, the like within one this whole battle for everything. It had 19 hit points left.
Yes.
I think you've gotten like 4 of these enemies down to 1 HP multiple times. Cool. What does it look like when you finish this thing off with a guiding bolt?
So
how do you want to finish this?
Quinn's gonna do a little flourish, and just a star is going to just beam right into the heart of the ballista, and then a bright flash with glitter, so you guys get advantage on whatever next hit you get.
Nice. Well, that's the last one because all of a sudden you just Malin, you're standing there. Technically the bears. Okay. Malin, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 12. Nice. That is good because I rolled nasty on that one. Holy fuck. As your guiding bolt comes down, this guy reaches and it like begins to like all of a sudden burn him asunder. He reaches into his chest and uses the light and pulls out 2 large fuses out of his chest and uses your own spell to light these things. He's loaded up with several of those bombs that everybody has been lobbing at you through this entire fight. And all of a sudden the entire the entire helm of that ship goes up in a massive explosion. Just boom! And Malin, you take... Good, you made the dexterity saving throw. You take 47 points of fire damage, and that is halved to 23.
Ooh, okay, cool.
Still up?
I'm still up, but barely.
Boom! This ship could just like the end of the ship just begins to erupt into just this massive explosion, and sails begin to catch fire. It just blows a massive hole in this thing. And Malin, you go flying back. Drew, I'm also going to say that your bear got caught in this and just kind of like dissipates away. Malin, you go flying back and you land onto the bottom, onto the deck of the ship, and you're just next to that grate. And now after the explosion, the sounds of battle have stopped. Everything's starting to calm down for just half a second, even though everything is ringing in your ears. You start hearing some kind of shout from below saying, "Help! Help! Save us! Save us!" And as you peek through this grate at the center of the ship, you see several people. In fact, you see more, maybe a dozen people chained in the belly of this ship. And they are shouting up at you. Several of them are shouting up to you. Several look like they're even unconscious. But they are shouting up to you, rattling their chains, begging you to save them. As you look back and you look down, and the ship is beginning to fill with water.
Okay. I will do what I can to get them out. Can I use
We're gonna settle that next session.
Dang it!
Because we are 14 minutes over.
Zam. Okay.
There goes Smalls.
Mark
like, oh my
on
God.
the very last second.
Yep, he
Oh
made
my
it to the
God.
end.
I'm proud of him. It was rough.
Yes, he wanted to kill some shit.
He was so excited for combat.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was so great.
I'm sad I didn't get to use the fun trick I had him planned. It would have been death to me regardless, but it was using the new toy you gave me.
Oh.
I was gonna use its
That was
5
so fun.
charge and lock him in the 15 sphere with me until it was over.
Oh, the fucking cube.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. If you got to go ahead of him, that would have been awesome.
But
I mean,
it wouldn't
technically,
have mattered. I would have been
Yeah.
knocked down.
True.
And actually, no, the cube would have stayed in place until someone deactivated it.
I would say, wouldn't it have deactivated if you went down?
You have to push one of the faces deactivated.
Oh, so you have to physically touch the cube to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay. It's semi-problem. I need to further read, but from how it's stated, that's what it
Yeah.
looks like.
That could be interesting. That could be very, very good or very, very bad.
Yeah, because its 5 is nothing can pass through the barrier. Walls, floors, or ceilings can pass through it at your discretion. But if
That is
I
true.
have no
If you-
discretion, then nothing goes through.
Because they can't heal you through the wall. Ooh, okay. We're gonna have to talk about that one.
Because 4 is spell effects can't pass through the barrier, but 5 is everything.
Yep.
3 is living matter can't pass through the barrier, which is probably what I should use.
Fair. Because that's right. It does give you options. Okay.
Depending on how many charges I expel, depends on how much stuff is allowed to go through the barrier. 1
Gotcha.
is just like gases, wind, and fog can't go through. 2 is non-living matter. 3 is living matter. 4 becomes an anti-magic barrier externally to in it. And then 5 is nothing goes through without me saying so.
Jesus, that's right. That's a fucking crazy item. I forget. Yeah, that's right. You earned that
one.
one.
It holds 36 charges and it resets 1d20 every day.
Jesus.
You put it
God
in
damn,
my chest.
I may have screwed up giving that to you. Damn.
I am the nuclear bomb. Now I have the
right.
bombshell.
I love it. Holy
I love
shit!
the mouth
This was a good one, guys.
I love the mouth thing. I'm so excited about it.
I also get to use my flamey hands for ingenious fun next time.
Yes, like I said, guys are getting, like I said, more creativity. Guys got some crazy items and abilities now. This is awesome. Like, Sherry, love it. That was inspired.
It was
Okay,
beautiful. I love
It
it.
was absolutely amazing.